Alrighty, hello. I love the man. Like every time I just like start a stream and just like or like before I start a stream, I tend to like launch the game, right? I'm just kind of vibing for a second, and like sometimes there's just a pop going on. You forget if you haven't been to Monster in a while how good of a like just background audio. Like they nailed the Genshin music. That's all I can say. So I also appreciate ZZZ how distinct Zenless's music is, but Zenless's music is more like a lo-fi vibe kind of music in most of the time with some really good audio design past that, whereas like Genshin has more risk-takey music in that it's like it more feels like its own thing rather than it's just trying to be a vibe, right? You notice it more consciously, I feel like, in Genshin. But anywho's, we're fishing today. And the reason, so for anyone that missed my previous stream, basically someone, it was like, I was pre-farming for Emilie, and I was like, I need gears, and then someone's like, hey, you can get gears from fishing, and I'm just like, cool, thanks for letting me know. That's good, right? But then the entire chat was like, fishing. And then I spent like an hour in the stream checking out, like, okay, how many fish would I actually need to be able to finish farming for Emilie? Because the goal on this account, I have a decent number of fishing, or they are fish drops. I have a decent number of Emilie like gear things already. I want to double crown her, so crown her skill and burst on her release, as well as get her normal attack, I believe, to level 8. I have enough talent materials, and I have all the materials I need other than like her boss drops, which will just take a few days of resin farming, and then I just need gears, right? So basically, where's my note? I have my note here from last time. God, I gotta delete some of my notes. I have like 8 notepad tabs open on my computer. Anyway, so the average that you got per fish, like when you craft one of these, in the menu over here, there's 5 different types of gear fish. From what I could tell, they all were the same. The average is that it drops 8, the equivalent of 8 of the low tier. Is the expected average that I did this math with. So I need a total basically of gears. I need a total of 108 of these big gears, 96 of the middle tier ones, and then the low tier ones I need 36 of, like basically none because they're the low tier ones, right? And with what I currently have, which I have like 64, so like I'm a little bit over halfway, right? I mathed out that the expected amount of fish I should need is 68 fish, and like 68 fish is an amount that like with all of the things on the map, right? The fishing spots on the map. Every fishing spot in Fontaine has gear fish. So there's this spot, and some of them are like only at nighttime. I think I marked down which ones were nighttime, but most of them had gear fish daytime and nighttime, and I'm gonna go to every one of these fishing spots, right? That's the plan for the stream. I'm gonna go to every one of these fishing spots, fish out all of the gearfish, and see if that gets me to the like 70 gearfish that I need to get all of the Emilie drops done. And like if this only takes like 2 to 3 hours to do, then I honestly think this might be more efficient of a way to farm gears than farming the enemies, because like, well, not necessarily, it depends. It depends if you go to the effort of like marking out every like collection of like mechanical enemies on the map so that you can do that every single day when they respawn. But if you like pre-farm like I normally do, wherein you just like, you go and navigate in the guidebook here, you hit this, and then you just kill whatever the guidebook takes you to, then like you end up like when you have this many gears that I need, because I'm like double crowning, I would have to do this for like probably a good week or 2 straight to be able to get enough materials to like start crowning characters kind of thing, right? Like, you have to do this a lot of days. So if I can just get this done within a couple hours of fishing, as awful as the fishing is, I think it might be more efficient. Not even triple crowning Chevy. I am like not. I don't have that many crowns. I will probably eventually, but there's not really that much to do with most characters. Normal attack talents and polearms. Sylveon, just saying. So, anywho's, Stardust shop. I mean, maybe I don't know how much Stardust I have on polearms only. A very good amount. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. I spent a couple wishes on Arlecchino's banner. Yeah, I don't know. I could buy gears. Like, if I need to, I'll buy some gears from this to be able to finish out the gears I need. I would. My goal today is to get completely done. Right? We get 70 fish-ish, 70-ish fish, and that should be enough to be done with Emilie farming. Other than the boss drops, which shouldn't take long at all. Right? And we got plenty of time for that because she's second half. So many funds already. I mean, it's not that many. This is. We don't have enough to guarantee Emilie yet, so it's not that many. Anywho's, we should have enough to guarantee Emilie by the time her banner comes around. But this is a full Emilie account. It would be nice to get more than just Emilie C0. We'll see what happens. How like you C6 Arlecchino and then also built Pity? I didn't really build Pity. I did like 15 wishes for Toma. I don't know what to tell you other than like I have a Welkin going, I guess. Like it's not I don't know. I haven't bought any top-ups. All I did was I have Welkins going as I kind of always have on polearms only. Whenever there's characters that like it seems worthwhile to have some extra resources for, I've been buying Welkins on polearms only. That's not new, right? So, you know, since Arlecchino's banner, how long has it been since Arlecchino's banner? It's been like 2 months, right? So like 6,000 of these Primo Gems are from Welkins, right? I guess it's probably the estimate. Anywho's, a video and a stream today. Yeah, there will be a video tomorrow as well. Should be. I'm gonna edit it after this. I have already recorded, so I just need to edit it. The Alhaven video finally should be coming out. And then I plan to stream on Sunday. I don't know what about on Sunday, to be honest. There's probably Genshin things. By the way, I wish to mention quick the Zenless video. Again, I made this video. I made that video as I did because I thought that I was enjoying the game enough as a game that it deserved more than just me doing like, this game is a gacha game. Proceed with caution. Like doing the typical what is X amount of dollars video get you. As an excuse to basically yell at people to be smart when they're playing gacha games. But instead I just wanted, like, I liked the game enough that I wanted to talk about it as a game, right? I thought that was more valuable. But it's my worst performing video of the last 10 videos I posted. Like, it wouldn't surprise me right now if the video ends up performing worse than many of my live streams perform. And live streams get way less total views, right? So, like... this is why, like, it's more evidence. Well, it's evidence of potentially a few things. But one big factor is that it's, you know, YouTube operating in niches, and my niche is like, you know, my Genshin audience basically. So, what it shows is that my typical audience is not as interested in a Zenless video. And that's why, like, I haven't like tried to diversify my content that much. It's because it's just like almost always never going to be successful. And I'm kind of considering unlisting the video right now, but I'll let it run for a little while. I might actually post the video to a second channel, because I think the video might do better if it doesn't get seeded out to my existing audience, right? But anywho's, sometimes YouTube just says no. It's not just YouTube, and like I'm not saying I couldn't have made a better thumbnail or title or whatever, right? Or made the video itself better. But it's also an effect of like what the audience wants to see, right? What this is reflective of to me is that my general Genshin audience, the general Genshin audience that I generally make videos for, is not the audience that like despite them being, you know, gacha players, despite it being a Hoyoverse game, they're not interested in Zenless content. That's what this shows in some form. It's not like it's just YouTube is choosing to me personally, like, no. It's not operating completely disconnected from the reality of how people themselves act and think, right? A large part of the way the video performs is relative to the audience the video was seeded out to, and it being at the bottom of the ranking of my last 10 videos is representative of people are not that interested in Zenless videos. So it's fine. I wasn't planning to like transition my content to Zenless content or anything. This is like the 4th day in a row I've had this quest, by the way. It's just like a little bit unfortunate. like oh, I didn't just like, you know, Zenless garbage game, like, for some reason I see people saying, without like making, no offense to anyone, but like I haven't seen a lot of like constructive criticism against Zenless. It's just been like and mostly just like monkey brain mindset, people repeating the same things without actually properly experiencing that much of the game. I don't know, man. So, anywho's, I'm trying to judge it as more of a game than as a gacha, while also still understanding it is still a gacha game, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, I don't know. So I don't really have very good content ideas for it right now, but I might use it. I might remake that video slightly, basically on a second channel, to see how it does as an experiment for finally starting a second channel. Anywho's. Len 5.99. Did I say donations last stream? Did you say? I don't know. My bad. Oh god. Well, how dare you, Len? Thank you for the 6 euros. Yeah, it's definitely an oversaturated market, right? It's a problem that gacha games have, right? Like, and this is like why Wuthering Waves released when it did, right? They had to release before Zenless released. Like, I think Wuthering Waves would have been destroyed if it released after Zenless. But instead we have kind of the reverse, where like the Genshin players that were open to playing another gacha game started playing Wuthering Waves, and Wuthering Waves has a lot of very similar baseline experience things to Genshin. It's very familiar, but like, oh, more dopamine because wow, they're so generous. Sarcasm.
Thank you.
Not gonna commentate that much on the generosity spiel again. But like, you know, right, that's the market that Wuthering Waves Kuro Games capitalized on. And like, players that play Wuthering Waves or are open to playing it are now going to be less open to playing another gacha so soon after they just started another one that's a time sink for them, right? It's a gacha design problem. So, but I don't know. Zenless is just so much of a better game for me. I'm not saying it has to be for everyone, that I think it is very likely I will stop playing Wuthering Waves soon. Versus, you know, dropping Zenless, I mean, right? Like, I don't think I can stomach playing Genshin, which Genshin is like my job, but like, I don't think I can stomach... I still enjoy the, like, a big part of the Genshin, by the way, like, I don't actively talk about much, but should be evident through the content that I make, is... Genshin has this endgame loop that is engaging to me because of the like the endgame loop of Genshin is basically new characters. For me, is like new characters releasing, I get new characters, and I think of all the ways that these new characters can be used with the existing library of characters I have, right? That's the endgame loop of Genshin for me, and I wish there was more content in Genshin to play with the characters in the ways that I like thinking about playing and using them. But still, at a baseline, that's what keeps me engaged, is that diversity of how, you know, they can release a healer character that I can very easily just turn into a competent short field time DPS unit who is also healing at the same time, and that gives her a lot of actual value, and I can like think of interesting things like that, right? That's what keeps Genshin's endgame engaging to me. I have no idea if Zenless is going to have that same engagement long term, right? It's just at a more traditional perspective for a game, as far as like, I'm enjoying playing it right now for like at least a few weeks, and it being a free product to enjoy for a few weeks at minimum. that's not valueless, right? Like, this is something that if I paid $20, if I had paid $20 for Zenless and had the experience I have had already, and like I only had, for my $20 I paid, I only had about a week's more worth of content left, and then the game is just done forever, I would have been happy with that $20 purchase, right? That's like my current feeling about Zenless. But instead it's a gacha game and there is more potential. It's a live service game, will have story content, whatever, blah, 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 added as time goes on. So it has more potential to engage me long term. I don't know if mechanically it will engage me long term the way that Genshin has like succeeded in the level of being a gacha game that continually has these ever-growing layers of thinking about the ways characters interact. I have no idea how viable meme building is, right, in it. I think there is enough layers of interaction that it's much more interesting than Wuthering Waves will be, because like Wuthering Waves is like, there's damage bonus and elements, except for the elements don't do anything other than for character immunity, or for characters fighting enemies that are immune to them or resistant to the elements. But like I can already see some potential in Zenless with like it's my bad. I was talking and didn't brain. You not run over here. I like you know, right, weird EM builds on Raiden, right? like I do. 522 EM on Raiden, right? On 4-piece emblem with Staff of Scarlet Sands. There is there's like element to mastery. There is anomaly proficiency in Zenless. And I don't know enough about the equipment system, about like the stats you can get on the equipment. I don't know the scalings of how those stats affect the damage you deal, but there is like kind of the transformative reactions, kind of. But I don't think it's to the extent that Genshin is. But I can see the potential possibility. I'm locking this because I need no crit stat pieces for a video in the future. I can see the potential possibility of doing things like, rather than just building crit on my Soldier 11 crit and damage bonus, I could put, you know, anomaly mastery or proficiency, whatever it is. There's two different stats. I forgot which one is which. In Zenless, and to make it so my Soldier 11 can trigger burn faster, or do more burn damage, right? So there is potential layers there, unlike Wuthering Waves, which just does literally nothing with the element system other than enemy immunities right now. At least they could change that in the future. So it like makes it's so much less engaging to think about, but I can already see the potential at least for that in Zenless, which is really good. So anyways, let's start fishing. Wait, did I get any artifacts? It's time to start fishing. For anyone that joined, because I mentioned this already in the earlier part of the stream, basically we are fishing for Emilie materials, and the reason for that is because of last stream someone's like, aha, you can get gears, which is what I need. I need like 50 of the highest tier drop, is a simple way to explain it. I need about 50 more of the highest tier drop of gears to finish my pre-farming for Emilie, double crowning and level 8 normal attack talent. And I mathed out that I need about 70 of the gear fish, which I have no idea if I can get 70 gear fish from just the fish in my world. We'll see how many I get. If we need to, we'll go into co-op. I don't know. We'll see. So, there you go. There's my rant about Zenless and the current lack of performance in the video, representing how, like, the gacha community, which, you know, I still maintain the gacha community is itself should barely be a thing. It's like saying, oh, there's a battle pass community for games. Like, what? It's a monetization system. Why are we saying there's a gacha community? Why is there an organization of people that, like, just play gacha games? I only play battle pass games. Huh? What? Whatever. Anywho's, fishing. Fishing is the only thing that works in co-op. Yeah, I guess. I would let you guys do co-op. Where do we start? Well, let's start. I would let you guys do co-op for fishing, but I know someone's gonna like bring a character and just spam noises with the character while fishing, and that'd be more annoying than Paimon noises from fishing. You know, we'll start down here since we're here. Well, why not killing mecha enemies? Well, that's what we're kind of gonna see, because like killing mecha enemies, right? Unless you go to the pain in the arse process of how did I never do that? I could have sworn like I have 100% on this, right? Like I walked around the whole island like 4 times, making sure I like got everything, and somehow I missed this. What? What's wrong with my brain? How did I not get this? Anywho's, maybe it's a annoying puzzle. Maybe that's why. No, it doesn't seem that annoying. But the interesting thing here is to see like, is fishing going to be faster potentially? Because if you're just doing what I normally do for pre-farming, which is, you know, using the guidebook and just killing the mecha enemies that it guides you to, which is only a few enemies, right? It barely gives you any drops on a per day basis relative to like how many you need for triple crowning. So you have to do that for like potentially weeks straight, right? Depending on how many resources you currently have. I think fishing, like I don't know if just the fish from my world will get me there, but like I think I will get enough drops from the fishing to make me get really, really close in 1 day of fishing, right? In just a few hours of fishing, which is probably going to be relatively similar to the time it would take over like multiple weeks, for just killing mecha enemies, right? I suspect it would be similar time investment, but being able to do it all in one stretch potentially versus split across over many days. That's my kind of current thinking. I think it's interesting to test that. It's not just like a meme stream thing. I actually kind of want to test this. It is a meme stream format, but I also want to test it. I probably am not going to do this very often, that's for dang sure, but I appreciate that there's more sources than just like, you know, doing the daily login, fighting the enemies over and over. So here we go. Here is the start, plus the achievement. Yeah. Here's the start of fishing. I should probably have set up a counter for how many fish we got, but it doesn't even matter because all I'm going to do, I'm going to fish every spot. I'm going to fish every spot in Fontaine. We're going to get every single gear fish I can get in my world, and then we'll check how many we have, right? And I need about 68 technically is what I mapped out. Oh God. Okay, you know what? No, real quick. Let's just save everyone. Wait, well, you know, fine. Here, I'll let you decide. Shut up, Paimon. Yes or no? There we go. Poll on whether or not we shut up Paimon. Yeah. So I'm gonna do all the fishing, right? And we'll see how many we have of these total fish, the gear fish, 4 gears, after we fish all the spots in Fontaine, right? That's the idea. And I need, you know, I guess you know what, since we technically my math estimated we needed 68, we'll just say our goal is 69 fish, because haha, funny number. So our goal is 69 fish. I should have had a counter, but I didn't think to set it up beforehand, and I'm not going to set it up while live. So instead, this is what we're doing. This is the whole stream. Well, towards the end I might. No! A decorative fish, I should have noticed. How's your luck in ZZZ been? I've gotten a lot of earlies in standard banner. I decided to spend some polychromes on the standard banner. Oh, I can do it. And I got another early, like at like 20 pity, and it was another Soldier 11, which I really like Soldier 11, but I really would have preferred a new character versus another copy of Soldier 11. And her C1 does not really do anything meaningful. Well, her C1 does something meaningful, but only once every 50 seconds. That's the problem. So it's like not consistently usable. So did I get Ellen? No, I'm not. I'm gonna save my pity on Shark Banner, I think. And go for Zhu Yuan, because I think Zhu Yuan should work well with like doing a dual DPS Soldier 11 Lucy Zhu Yuan team, and then my intention is to do some kind of team with Grace down the line, maybe with a certain rat girl character. Or sorry, she's a cat girl. She's not a rat. Let's speed forward the time. So anyways, 72% yes to shut up Paimon. But you know what? We'll let Paimon, here you go, Paimon. You have a chance. I'll let Paimon have her voice dialogue until we finish with this fishing spot. And which might be only 1 more gearfish. Blam. So I think we've only gotten 4 fish so far from this spot, which makes getting 70 fish in one world a little less likely, I feel. Also, I'm not sure if the other spot that I already fished out in this world has had the fish respawn. The one that's by Poisson. But, anywho's, yeah, I would have really appreciated a different character than Soldier 11 again on Standard Banner and Zenless, but you know what? Hey, I like her at least. Oh, hey, hello. But yeah, Paimon, you have a chance. Say something, do something less annoying for once, and you have a chance, Paimon, to be able to reverse the community decision to mute you for this entire stream. But I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, let's shut up, Paimon. Also, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna... the music's already at 8. We'll turn it up 1. No, I'm gonna turn it down. I don't want to turn it up and then forget it's... I was gonna turn it up so we can just have more vibe music, but then I'll leave it too high, and then it'll be like way too loud, and when I'm editing some video later, I'm just gonna be like, oh, now you... Right, anyways, it's fine. I don't think the spot of Poisson is refreshed. Okay, well then we will definitely at least jump into someone's world to fish the Poisson spot, because I want to, because I want to measure like how many, if you were gonna, because it refreshes I think every 3 days, the fish. How much, if you're just gonna do the full fishing one day in the whole region, how many gears can you get, right? So I will go into at least one person's world then to get the Poisson spot. So anywho's, let's. I think does it respawn fish again in a different time? Because I already fished the gearfish at night before, but is it gonna respawn any more again? I don't know. You can still get more gearfish to spawn if you get rid of the other ones. I see. Anyone see the fish that just manifested right here and then disappeared? So I don't know if I want to, like, it's so annoying to have to fish out the other fish, though, on top of the gearfish. Like, I prefer to just catch the gearfish and not have to catch the other fish just for the chance for gearfish to spawn, right? I think that's what I technically would have to do to get more gearfish to spawn, is, like, catch some of these fish, and then, or maybe you can scare them away. Didn't do new types of fish spawn if you scare them away? You got a day pool and a night pool, the amount of stat. That's what I kind of thought. I'm a big fan. Can you help me? I mean, if you need help, go on my build help channel on my Discord server and ping me after the stream. I might, well, if I feel like it, I might help, or someone else can help. So, you know, I'm kind of fishing right now. Sorry. Okay. So, let's go. Let's do this on like a region by region basis. So let's go and get the LNS fishing spots quick. Actually, first, let's check the Poisson spot. Just double check. Make sure. Yeah, no, we're not fishing for the pipe. No. This is not fishing for pipe. Oops, wrong direction. No need for a pipe on polearms only. We're just fishing for gears for Emilie. We need gears. And is this faster? Like, if I was going to jump into co-op worlds and just farm gears in co-op worlds until I got enough, I feel like it'd probably take a similar amount of time, right? But, I don't know, that's what we're comparing. That's what we're comparing today, and also stupid meme stream format, so. Oh, did I talk about, oh yeah, duh, the Natlan trailer. I talked about it a bunch on my Discord server last night. So, maybe I should have, in hindsight, maybe I should have saved it to react to it this stream. But I did not. Oh well. On the wrong direction. They reveal a bunch of characters. Obviously, I really like. Well, okay. I mostly like the character designs. I will say, you know, having seen some edits with melanin. Okay, yeah, the gearfish are not here. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to go into someone's co-op world to get this spot. It's fine. I like. A lot of the characters look a lot better with darker skin. But overall, I like a lot of the character designs. Will do, mate, stinks. And yeah, the Pyro Archon, I like how she looks. She looks a little bit generic, I'm not gonna lie. Do I have Dia? Like, no offense, Pyro Archon. Dia has about like a 3 times. I don't have Dia on this account. Dia has about a 3 times better design than you. I like her hair. I like big, flowy, fiery hair. When you're playing the Pyro Archon, she's just gonna be a mass of hair. like it's just gonna be hair. Just hair. Which is funny. So, you know. And, other than that, what else is there to say? I really like Sitlolly, the pink-haired girl. She's cryo, which is a... We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I like the designs overall. It looks cool. We'll see what the actual like mechanics are. Like none of them are characters that like must pulls for me or anything, just on design alone. But the characters I am likely to pull are, of course, like the Pyro Archon, Sitlolly, regardless of rarity, and Kit, just because I like the design enough to try to make her work. But also I'll pull a lot of these characters to make them work in making videos regardless, right? So, like, it almost barely matters. As long as they... I still don't plan to pull over every character, because, like, I just don't have the resources to build every character, even if I wanted to, unless I start resin refreshing, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to pull for characters that I think are interesting in some form or another. But we'll see, right? I hope the Geo lady has an interesting kit. They did well with Navia, but I myself think Navia is kind of like just fine. she's just a well-designed Geo unit that doesn't force you to, you know, do mono Geo things. What am I doing? I meant to do this. Oberon looks kind of cool. He's the one that looks the least like a Genshin character of all of them, even like the Minecraft Pixel Boy. Do you know the weapon of Pyro Archon? I'm just gonna... She screams Claymore, but that's probably just Dia vibes. The Dia vibe she gives off, right? Is there really only like 3 gears fish in this spot? That's really annoying. There's only like 3 to 5 fish per spot. That makes it a lot harder to get 70 fish. But we'll see. We'll see how many we get from all the spots. We're just gonna keep simple. I don't feel like trying to force a ton of gearfish to spawn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it to day, change it to night, get all the gearfish that show up immediately, and then any that spawn after catching 1 gearfish, right? And then we head down to the next spot. That's my current approach here, I think. Go here. So yeah, I'm just gonna assume the Pyro Archon's a Claymore at this moment in time. I don't know. I don't necessarily think she's got the greatest design I've ever seen. That's for sure. Oh my god! Look at all the gearfish. Let's go. Look at all those Emilie materials. Like she just looks like a biker lady. I agree with that biker lady vibe with like a leather jacket. I like her hair, but they just kind of went for the generic hot lady vibe, I feel like. So it's just relatively boring to me. I like her, but she's not as interesting as I feel like she could have maybe looked, but that's fine. Yeah, what do I think about Geo Dia? How to make Dia better? Make her Geo. No, no. There's a good chance that she might be better or worse. I don't know. Geo characters have less inherent interest to me because Geo does not interact much with the other elements in the game. So I can't say I will. I hate the decorative fish. Remove these from the game, Hoyo, if I don't want them. I hate them. So anywho's. Yeah, she's Dami Mommy template red, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't know. Dia has a more interesting design as far as hot lady fire woman goes, I guess. I don't know. So no one replaces Dia for me. But the Pyro Archon still doesn't have a bad design. She could have a very interesting kit as well, of course. I suspect probably more useful to most players than Dia is. Yeah, I don't know. Sitlolly is the one I'm most interested with what they do with the cryo characters, because I think Chaska and Sitlolly are both cryo, and I think Chaska and Slit Lolly are cryo, and I like the potential of them trying to do more with cryo units. Risley was a really big disappointment for me, in my opinion. Like, he's fine, but he does nothing interesting. So, I don't know, we'll see. We're fishing for Emilie materials. We're fishing for gears, because I'm genuinely curious to see how many gears we can get from a full fishing out of all the gearfish. Okay, the spot, despite the stupid things, was productive, and that was only the nighttime. Cryo needs a rework. I mean, I think Geo needs a rework to make it more interesting than Cryo. What Cryo needs is potentially an Archon, like potentially a hypothetical off-field pyro applier that, you know, applies pyro and does some team-wide attack buffing and damage of her own, enabling easy, you know, melt teams that don't require frickin' Chungling and having to hug characters and deal with spinning around you, and Chungling's absurd energy needs that basically force you to play Bennett and funnel energy to her. Like I think the Pyro Archon is probably gonna be intended in some form. That's 3 of them from this spot. I think the Pyro Archon is going to be intended in some form to be a mix of like a buffer plus easier to use and build Chungling and as like a solo Pyro unit. And notably, I think she's gonna probably diversify reverse melt teams to be a lot stronger in different circumstances. And I think that's a really good thing. So, you know, like doing your cryo DPS unit plus like Pyro Archon plus Emilie, for example, I think could be a very strong team core for an on-field cryo unit. Like doing like Pyro Archon, Emilie, well, ignore the defensive aspects, I guess, here, but Pyro Archon, Emilie, and then I would run like, I don't know, Shenhe or something, right? And then DPS Charlotte. That's what I would do. And I think that could be pretty fun, right? I think there's a nice middle ground for that, and the Pyro Archon breathing some life into cryo units, so I look forward to that. Geo units, I am still more skeptical of because of Geo's inherent less interaction between other things. We could also use more cryo units that could enable like just more competent off-field cryo units could be cool as well. But I'm not gonna maintain that much hope for that because I honestly don't think that's gonna happen until like the cryo Archon. Realistically, the catch doesn't use these fish. So what are we fishing for? We're fishing for Emilie. That's the stream title. We're fishing for Emilie. We're fishing for Emilie. We're getting gears. The goal is to get 70 sorry. The goal is to get 69 fish is my estimate for how many gear fish we need to be able to get enough gears to finish to have enough gear materials to level up my Emilie on polearms only to level 10 scale, level 10 burst, and level 8 normal attack talent. So, anywho's. What did I miss in chat while I was rambling about cryo and the Pyro Archon? Ajog on a power creep Farina. True. He's the only must pull in the game, I think, right now. Definitely. Where's the fishing spot here? I marked a fishing spot here. Poke. Really? Go away. Why did none of those drop anything? I feel affronted. Is the fishing spot here underground? Well, certainly doesn't seem like it. Not this one. Oh, gee, he did it. Of course I'm an A-Job believer. He's going to be the best character in the game. Unironically, I would pull... If that was the character, I would do it. No questions. Don't care. If they let a playable character just be a stupid little pixel art creature, just as a complete meme, like that's what they should do, right? There you go. Release a free 5-star just to completely meme on the community. Release a free 5-star and make it a pixel character, and just do some lore bullshittery to justify it. I don't know. I don't get where the fish are here. But anyway, obviously it's just like it might be a summon of some form for the green boy. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if I'm likely to pull green Dendro boy because I just not the scout, but I'll have a video this weekend about Elhaitham, another green Dendro boy, and if they're both on-fielders, I don't know. Like, I suspect he's gonna have a more interesting kit than Elhaitham is to me. Okay, go up the hill. Oh, is it up there? I see. Okay, interesting. Can we? It would have been faster to climb. Yeah, Arlecchino can sometimes go up hills, sometimes not. Okay, Arlecchino. Okay, apparently climbing doesn't function right now in this game either. Really. This is one of those things that's definitely a lot better about Wuthering Waves. I would already be over there by now. Oh my god. Just please. Alright, so yeah, anywho's, I don't know. I'm not gonna commit to pulling for every single character in Natlan, that's for dang sure. But, I am getting to the point that it kind of potentially makes sense for me to just get a character even if I have at least something interesting to say about them or play with them. Because I can just justify it on a business cost level. And if I make a wishing video, I can usually make more money. That is what I mean, like on a business cost level, right? I think I've been lied to. You need to go way more south? Did I just mark the complete wrong spot on the map? What? What? I'm very confused. It's South Elenus. Wow, this is the most annoying fishing spot in the game. I swear to God, like I swear I put this like right near the map where the image I looked up online said it was. Okay, I'm just gonna look it up again. It's only at night? Oh my god. This is a fishing spot that only appears at night. Just teleport there. This is why you should use the interactive map. I'm not gonna use the interactive map while I'm streaming. I hate it. I think it's probably meant to be down here. I think I just derped and put a marker over here when it's meant to be over here. That's my guess. Yeah, it must be. Oh, good lord. See, this is why fishing takes too long. Like, I would probably be halfway done with the Fontaine fishing by now if I hadn't gotten lost. Oh boy. Yeah, it's this one. It has to be this one. Oh god. Oh my brain. Oh my brain. Yep. Yep. I blame Chad for in the stream. I did this. I marked these on stream. It might have been blocked off from the overlay or whatever. I blame chat. They should have corrected me on stream. Someone probably did, and I just didn't notice though. So, oh god. Anywho's, yep. I don't know. I don't intend to pull for every Natlan character. Just cause like, if I pull for every Natlan character, it would necessitate resin refreshing my life away. But for me, it's just a matter of, if I can make at least some interest in a video that I think is worth making about them, I will consider getting them. And like, honestly, like even, I think the lesson I have learned with Siegewind is, I think I'm just gonna pull for any bad character. Like any character, not any bad character. I just like any character that the community thinks is bad, right? In particular is I think what I will probably have as a general policy moving forward is because like oftentimes when characters are perceived as worse from the community, they have more avenues in my experience to be able to be used in interesting ways, right? Like I vastly enjoy Siegewind as a character and thinking about using her and playing her in different ways way more than I'll hate them, right? But very few people would say, oh, Siegewind's better than I'll hate them. I think she is better than Hytham. I think she is going to be more useful in the context of the fact that she was definitely made for Farina. If you don't have Farina, Sijuin's value drops like a cliff. But like, yeah, that's my, I think, general policy moving forward. In particular, I think I might pull for any character the community might, if I see the community start to be like, this character's bad or useless, why does she exist, or why does he exist? You know, all right, I'll get this character. That's my current feeling. So, you know, that's, I think, what I should have learned that with Dia, right? How much I have enjoyed Dia and found her to be a useful character even over time. And a character I have enjoyed thinking about using and continually and found useful in some way or another, because she has interesting and unique aspects to her kit versus do laser hydro, right? Like, I don't know, man. It seems to be how I enjoy the game personally, and I think it's a better perspective also to like make content for as a format, is, you know, doing my utmost to make the characters that the community perceives as bad better, but also like to potentially kind of prove that like, no, these characters aren't actually that bad. Like I take back my original, like I originally said, like basically before her release and before I actually used her, that Sijuin was like, wow, this character would be super, like, this character is a really cool kit for a 4-star. Oh, hello, Gearfish. I almost missed you. This character is a cool kit for a 4-star. No, I think she has a interesting kit for a 5-star. She's just overly designed around Farina. Like, she has the power level of a 5-star, I think. So, you just have to have specific wants. And there's a lot of... Hydro is absolutely in a state, especially with Hydro 5-stars, right? That there's a lot of reasons to potentially skip Sijuin, right? And that's not a bad thing about a character. It's a good thing. I think we want characters that aren't just like, I need to pull this character. We don't want to have that. It's just, that makes Gacha games feel miserable if you feel the need to pull every single character, right? You got to find the balance for you. But anywho's, let's go. I think we're done with Elinus, right? Yeah, Elinus is done. There's the 3 fishing spots. So Poisson, we already got this one. Well, no, sorry, we need to get this one. So you know what? Let's just to keep things simple. You know what I want to do? I want to go into someone's world quick. So we'll go into Mate's world. The reason we're going to Mate's world is because I already got this a couple days ago, so it hasn't respawned yet. But I want to get this fishing spot so that we can see what the total number of gearfish is across the entire like Fontaine map, right? So I want to have this included in like the numbers, but I'm not going to go into co-op again other than this for this spot, unless I need to finish out the farming, right? So we'll join mates with. What are the odds of Kaveh in 4.8? I'd say it's very likely they're going to throw him on Nelia's banner, because he's technically functional there. But also, I still maintain that it would be an L decision because it's the least interesting way to play Kaveh. So, I don't know. They unironically, they should have put Kaveh on Farina's banner. I think they should have, but you know, oh well. They also could have put it whatever. Is Mates dead? I think Mates is dead. Well, all right, Mates has lied. I guess we'll go to the other. Still, alive. Hello. I'll wait for the okay from them, and I'll try to get the other one on this island area. It's the most interesting way to play Kaveh. My favorite way of playing him is still what I did in my video a little while back for him. I did Kaveh, Farina, Cloud Retainer. Who did I do as the 4th slot? Oh, it was Nahida. Yeah. The idea was right. Build Kaveh for like a crit, just raw Dendro damage, right? Not aggravate, plunge, or anything. Just raw Dendro damage. Utilize him being a Claymore. He can do Dragon Strike things, right? He can get he's a lot easier to get the double hits on with the Claymore multipliers. Utilize the fact that he does Dendro Infusion, and then utilize the fact that he can pop those Bloom Cores when you use his skill and burst. You can join now. And that, right, that aspect of not building him for EM, but instead building and then building Farina for EM, so that the Dendro, like, not that it was better to do this, but this was the way I could conceive of that leaned into his kit, wherein you can build Kaveh for EM and try to make him the trigger for Bloom cores, but generally speaking, it's actually ideal to have extra Dendro, underlying Dendro on the enemies. Just the same thing for Nilou teams, wherein you can get the most Bloom core generation by having underlying Dendro on enemies, and then having, we're going to go over here, Hydro be the trigger for the Bloom generation, which means your Hydro units, in that case Farina, her EM was the one used to calculate the Bloom damage, and then Kaveh, causing them to immediately pop if you used his skill or burst, would give them some bonus damage. But Kaveh himself did not need to be built for EM, he just needed to be built for crit, so he could deal some meaningful talent damage, take utilization of his infusion, still do the Bloom things, have someone else spec into the Bloom damage, so you don't have to make Kaveh be annoying to build. And yeah, like I fully utilize his kit to like the maximum potential I think I could possibly imagine. Is it sad that it was kind of reliant on the Farina Chanyun core? Yeah, I guess. But still, I turned Farina into a Bloom build. Like, and then like his ER needs are rough, so you like still want Nahida, right? Like I use Nahida because ER, yeah. Like, I'm not saying it was the best team ever, or the optimal way to do it. It's probably still better to have Farina built for, you know, her personal talent damage rather than built for EM there. And it's unfortunate that Kaveh doesn't have his C6 in his base kit, because that would give him a lot more, like, he would be able to be basically, I think, semi-constantly triggering. It depends exactly how the triggers line up, but he should be able to much more consistently trigger, like, the Bloom cores. Without his C6, the cores can just pile up, and that's bad. But yeah, I don't know. Like he does not have a very good kit by any means. But it was a fun and interesting way to make use of him with new characters that had come out since Kaveh's release. And the whole idea of that video that I made was like trying to prove to Hoyle, like, hey, you should rerun this character because he can be more usable than he was in the past. That was basically what I was trying to prove. And like I fully cleared the Abyss with that team. So, oh yeah, his self-heal is interesting. Yes, I agree. And he doesn't, I don't think he needs to be built for EM for the self-heal, but I think his healing skills on EM, I could be wrong though. This spot had way more gearfish the last time I was, can you change the time to night? Mates, can you change time to night? What happens if I am fishing while they change the time? Oh, nothing, apparently. Okay, oops. How do I... There we go. It just immediately changes. Didn't realize it did that. What weapon was Farina holding in Kaveh Plunge? Almost assuredly Fav. I think it was an EM build with Fav. I believe I had her up to like 700 EM or something. I had to double check the video. I think I showed it in the video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was still with Golden Troop, by the way. So it was like it was a hybrid Farina build. So Farina wasn't doing 0 damage. She just wasn't critting and getting like the big crits anywhere near normal. And I think I said in the video, Farina C2 was probably making a difference in that video. Nahida C2 was realistically not making much of a difference in that video because the majority of the team damage I don't think was really the Bloom damage. It was not none of the damage, but you know, I'm guessing the Bloom damage from what I could tell was, you know, optimistically around 20% to 30% of the team's damage. And Nahida doing a 20%, you know, team damage, Bloom damage increase with the Bloom's critting, is not that significant of an increase when the team, when the Bloom damage contribution is only like 20%, right? 20% increase on the 20% of the team's damage is only like a, what is that? Like a, we'll just say 5%, right? Like a 5% DPS increase is not that significant. But Nahida C2, unironically, might have actually been, or sorry, Farina C2 in that team, not because of the faster damage bonus increase, but because of Farina's damage bonus, Farina's own personal damage increase, since the other forms of damage in the team weren't as ideal, and because of the fact that we were lowering Farina's own baseline damage by not critting, means that her gaining a bunch of HP, which does meaningfully buff her non-crit damage, is a significant DPS increase for Farina, right? So, yeah, I think I said that as much in the video, like, I have these constellations, they do make a difference, blah, 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 blah. take it for what you will, right? Not my videos have never been, oh, this is going to be something that's necessarily easy to emulate, but it's something that is possible, and to get varying degrees of close to over time achieving, right? If you love Kaveh, you can try to make him work in different ways. That was the most fun I've had, the best idea I had for making him work. It's unfortunate it was reliant on the strengths of Cloud Retainer and Farina, but also it's also cool. It's cool to me that, you know, new characters have been released in the, you know, year since Kaveh's banner, that allowed using him in ways that were much more functional than he was before, and doing him as he was intended, right? Using him for his weird bloom things. So I don't know. He's got an interesting kit, right? Is it a bit undertuned? Yeah. Sumeru 4 stars in a nutshell, to be honest. All right. Doesn't Emilie need mecha gears? Why are you gear fishing again? Because you can craft them into gears. All right, thank you, Mix. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Best design is Ajon, true. My favorite character design is Sitlolly, for sure. I like pinks, especially like she's like a more pastel-y pink, right? Fantastic design. Like, if any 4-star causes me pain, I think there was supposedly that she was a 4-star. Her design screams 5-star to me, but they've also been upping the quality of their like designs regardless of rarity lately. So, and animations, whatever. So it's a crapshoot, right? She could easily be a 4-star or 5-star. I wouldn't be surprised if that leak was wrong, but supposedly she might be a 4-star. And if there's any 4-star, and I don't really care that much, honestly. In some ways that'd make her more fun for me to use, but it would also make me less likely to use her long term, depending on what her kit looks like. But I don't know, maybe she's a Chevreuse situation, right? Like, Chevreuse has given me far more optimism towards their potential 4-star kit designs that I don't think it's oh, this character's dead because they're a 4-star. It just makes it more likely that for more players, the character will be less useful, right? For me, it doesn't really matter that much. So anyways, if there's any 4-star that could cause me a lot of pain in Natlan, it's Sitlolly, because I am more likely to want her just because I like her design so much. It's like not that different from Charlotte, where I just really like Charlotte's design. I liked her picture-taking, theming gimmick thing, and I was like, well, I really want this character, even if I don't use her much. So, we'll see. We'll see. This is a freaking ornament, isn't it? I hate it. I wish I could just like shoot them. I want them gone. Let me like use Shivers to go gun fishing, Mahoyo. That's a feature you need to add to the game. I'll give you $5. Actually, you know what? You only operate on whaling. I guess I'll give you $100, Mahoyo. Let me shoot the fish to death. And make it so that the ornament fish never show up again. I want to make them go extinct. Stupid fishes in a jar. I never want to see them again. Anywho's. Yes, this is polearms only. That's why I don't need that. I don't need the gears on my main account because I haven't used as many gears. But like, Chevreuse ate all of my gears, and I think some other thing. I think one weapon or something might have eaten gears too. Oh hello, it's just about to change the time. And yeah, I don't dislike Emilie's design, by the way, but I definitely like the concept arts of her design a lot more. Like all of the concept arts that we've seen that may or may not have been Emilie originally seem like, oh wow, that would have been a way more interesting design, especially with this character being a Dendry. Especially with Emilie being a Dendro character that, you know, barely like doesn't do as many typical Dendro things, right? Like, you could even consider, in a lot of cases, she's just an honorary pyro unit, right? Like, one of the most obvious use cases for Emilie is just shoving her into a mono pyro team, and yeah, you're doing burning things now, and there is value to the additional burning damage potentially. So it's not like it's the same as mono pyro, but doing, you know, Arlecchino, Emilie, Kozua, Bennett is gonna be what? Oh my god, I hope he comes back. Whoops. Doing, you know, monopyro Emilie, right? But Emily's actually Dendro. Like why didn't she have some amount of like red theming, right? I don't know. And pink is red adjacent. We could have got another pink character. But instead, like, no, she does grass damage. She's gotta be green. Like, come on, Mahoyo. That's one of the reasons like some of the Natlan characters look fresh. Like Chaska, she looks like. I mean, Cryo has had the most variants, I think, in its character designs, not just being like blue. But Chaska being like red and purple, but being a Cryo unit, fantastic. Love it. Keep doing it. Sit Lolly being a Cryo unit, you know, she doesn't like, she's not Chongyun colored. Crazy idea, right? All right, can I finally change the time here? There's gonna be more gearfish that spawn. Yeah, it's definitely too green, and it's especially for the Dendro unit that is probably the least Dendro unit that ever did Dendro in this game so far. I think she'll still be useful for Dendro things. That's a big part of the reason I'm interested in her, is her potential to still be used for Dendro things. But at the same time, if there's any Dendro unit that should have been not just green, it was her. That's my feeling. So, anywho's, we're fishing for Emilie. We are fishing for Emilie because Emilie needs gears. And this is what this is what chat decided last stream. Chat decided and I decided, because I think it's I need to take a drink. I think it's genuinely interesting to see if how close we will get to being done. Like I need the math I did basically was that one gearfish gives approximately 8 of the I need to take a drink of water. Give me a second. I don't know what's in my throat. Blah. Catch this fish. Blah. I think so for my math, from what I recall, I can check my notes, but it doesn't matter. I need the equivalent of 1,300 of the base drops for fish. One of these gearfish drops about 8 of the base drops, and I need about 500 more of the base drops. Like this is factoring in like converting them to the highest tier, with the one of the highest tier drop being 9 of the base tier drop, right? So you know I have like I'm 60% of the way to getting what the materials I need to double crown and level 8 Emilie. And my estimate is that I need about 69 fish. So I'm fishing out all of the spots that are in Fontaine, and we're gonna see how close we get, right? With 1 day of fishing, like just a few hours of fishing. Like we're only an hour into the stream and I rambled for 20 minutes. Like it's not gonna take us that long to finish all the fishing spots, right? Like this might actually be substantially more time efficient than doing like the guidebook every single day for 2 weeks straight, right? That's kind of what I'm actually interested in testing here. Okay, let's do this one, and then we'll go Lumidu's Harbor, and then we'll do this one, I think. And then we'll do the ones in the water over here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Wish you could do that with Nobushi handguards. Yeah, like honestly, seeing how many drops we get from this stream, I think should show us that like they should do more with like, hey, you can convert fish or other creatures or whatever into, but mostly fish. Like give more value to doing fishing. More methods of like being able to farm these materials would be nice, especially with how the guidebook is. 1 gearfish. I've been scammed. So, anywho's, I don't think it's going to take much more than an hour. And this is with getting lost for 10 minutes, too, because I put the stupid marker in the wrong spot. But I don't think this is going to take much more than an hour, and we'll see how many fish we got. I don't know. I'm not that optimistic we're going to get 70 of these fish, especially with all the freaking ornament fish. Like, it feels like I've caught, like, 20 fish right now, but I suspect I've only actually caught 15 that can be converted, which is not very close to 70, especially when there's only 1 fish spawning here in the day. I don't know. We'll see. And if I have to go into co-op, I'll go into co-op because I want to get all the farming done today. I think that'd be funny. I think it'd just be funny out of baseline. I'd be like, yep, I completely fished. Well, not completely. I had like half of the drops already, but I mostly just fished for Emilie, which is just, I don't know, it's just funny. How many fish yet? I didn't have a counter. I didn't think of having a counter ready, but we can check my inventory after this spot. Let's see where we're actually at. Wait, where are they in the inventory? Are they in like the... What? I have no idea what section fish are stored in the inventory. Anywho's. Pyro Traveler? Oh yeah, I forgot Pyro Traveler is going to be a thing. They're probably going to be really garbage. At the same time, even if they're garbage, as long as they apply some amount of Pyro, it's not like it's going to be hard to make Pyro Traveler deal some amount of damage. So, is it that much a problem? I don't know. They're probably not going to be very good, though. I certainly wouldn't hold out hope. I guarantee you they're going to be worse than Dia, as far as, like... Because Dia has, like, interesting things that she can be utilized for if you move past the conception that, I only use units as DPS carries. Like, if you move past the conception of strong units are the ones that do giant crit damage on field, Dia is a pretty useful character in a few ways. Not like, oh my god, she makes her the strongest teams ever, but she has a lot of mechanically interesting things about her. I almost guarantee you Pyro Traveler will not have that. I forgot that Pyro Traveler would be a thing, but yeah, I'm not optimistic. So, anyways, yeah, a Hydro Traveler says hi. Indeed. Man, Hydro Traveler could have been an interesting character. They had some interesting ideas there, and then they're just like, nope. Anyways, I don't know where the fish are. Are they in food? No. In here? Probably in here, right? Ah, yes. There we go. Alright, so we've gotten... this is a lot more than I thought. Okay. Wow. I didn't realize we got that many... I didn't think we got that many fish so far. Jesus. We started with 0 fish, right? So again, we need 69. 69 fish is my estimate for how many fish we need to get the full drops to be able to finish my Emilie farming. And we have 18, 24... I had 32, 39 already. Wow. That's way more fish than I thought I had for only an hour of farming. I think this is faster. I'm not kidding. I think this is faster. I think this might be faster farming-wise than doing, like, fighting enemies. For gears specifically, because they're the main one that, well, I think they're the only one you can do this, right? GeoMC is DPS Traveler. I think GeoMC is one of the more interesting Traveler kits. Animal MC is interesting too. Is this one of the night-only spots? No, this is nighttime. Underwater construct fights are also pretty quick. Yeah, like I'm not saying you couldn't set up a really quick route to be able to do efficient like monster farming, but like the way that I normally farm, right, is just doing the guidebook. Can I? Screw you too, game. The prompt wasn't there. The normal way, right, is you do the guidebook farming. And I think this is how the majority of the player base probably does it. And like you have to log on like literally a week or two straight to do the equivalent of I think the drops that I'm gonna get in this stream in only a couple hours or less. So I don't know. It's actually like kind of like compelling as far as time efficiency goes. Efficiency. Come on, kill me. Not when you keep on scaring the fish, though. It's got skill expression, though. I love the music here. I've never really sat here for very long before, so I never noticed the Lumidu's Harbor. Is this the only spot in the game this song plays? It's a really good song. Ah, my brain. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong on Pyro Traveler. I'm just not optimistic. You know, if Mihoyo makes Pyro Traveler like equivalent to Gaming, probably not as good as C6 Gaming with full constellations, but like if Pyro Traveler can get close to, you know, a C4 Gaming, right? I think that would be fine, and a well-balanced Traveler kit that could be fun, right? That's what I would like, but I'm not even going to remain optimistic about that. I wish there were more gearfish here, because I honestly want to vibe to the Lumidu's Harbor music a lot more. Does anyone know what this song is called? I actually want to add it to my playlist. It's a nice, simple, short song, but this is one of those songs that I want to add to my no-skip playlist, because it's like one that's like, ah, yes, that song. I like this song. So anyway, if you know what the title of the song is, please let me know. It's not like Electro Traveler. That was bad indeed. I should do a video on Electro Traveler eventually, but I keep forgetting they exist. Well, looks like we're not gonna get any more gearfish. Nope. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna catch the other fish here. Try to get more gearfish to spawn. We're gonna vibe too. I'm gonna listen to this one more time. Rude! I just wanted to go chill up here and you interrupted my music! Song is called Mellow Elise. Good to know. Thank you. Let me go add it to my playlist right now while hopefully it starts playing again. Actually, wait. You know what I can do? I can just play it from my browser itself. If I can find my Apple Music tab. There it is. Mellow Elise. Mellow Elise. Alright, play. Okay. Oh god, it's really loud. Jesus. It's very loud. I'm listening to this in higher quality, by the way. It's a lot better in higher quality. It's too loud, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the song was that loud, I'm sorry. Why is it? Oh god, it has so many swings in volume. Alright. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for how loud Apple Music was gonna have that song. It's a fantastic song though. It sounds a lot better. Most songs sound better, a lot better on Apple Music. They're just much higher quality. But yeah, good song. That might have even, that's kind of almost like a different audio file than the game one. But anywho's, very good. Good job, Hoyle. Especially for just like a one-off area song, right? Fantastic. That's all I can say. Anywho's. Geo Traveler Zhongli combo. Yeah, it's unironically one of the reasons I'd consider pulling for Zhongli. Just microwave shenanigans. Wait, I didn't add that to my playlist. I played it, but I forgot to add it. Give me a second. There we go. Done. Fishing time. I thought okay, I thought all of the fish stopped biting it for a second. I was like, oh. But I think I just got confused. Alright. Oh, a little carefish. How much you want to bet one of these is an ornament fish? Anywho's. Yeah, Hoyover's music company in disguise sometimes. All the time. Going to a if you ever have a concert, the Genshin concert near you, unironically, go check it out. It's cool. Like the music in a concert hall vibe is very different from like the music in game or listening to it yourself. But in a good way. It's a really fun experience. It's also funny as heck. It was so funny going to the Genshin concert and seeing the disparity between me, like who had just gone there in casual wear because I was just like, just going to a Genshin concert, what do I care? But then like seeing there be serious like fancy pantsy dress wearing tuxedo people going around, because this is a symphony hall, you must dress for the occasion, like that kind of dress wear, and I was like, oh, didn't think about that aspect. And then this is a Genshin concert, so there's a crap ton of cosplayers. so the contrast of like the different things people were wearing at the concert was absolutely hilarious. But the music itself and like the way that music sounds in a big concert hall is really cool. So if you ever have a chance to see it, a concert in general, like a symphony specifically in a concert hall, not just like concerts, is really good. Like I'm someone who doesn't really like going to concerts for like bands or whatever. It's just like not my vibe. I genuinely think I vastly prefer listening to the bands I like myself alone rather than going to like a showing for them. But the Genshin concert was a really unique experience in the symphony hall in a different way that I thought was very valuable. So yeah. Why do we need to fish? Because we need to get Emilie materials, of course. This is how you get Emilie materials. It is the most efficient. I'm not kidding. I think I'm pretty sure it might be the most efficient at this point. I think we're gonna get enough material. I think we're gonna get more than enough materials. That's my current bet. I think well, okay, we don't have that many fishing spots left, but I think we're gonna get more than enough materials to be able to completely finish my Emilie farming. And like I only had, like at the start of the stream, to be clear, I only had about 60% of the materials I needed, right? To double crown and level 8 and fully ascend her. So like this is probably gonna be like an hour and a half ish of farming out just the fish. And well, okay, we went into one co-op world so we could do the equivalent of, because one of my spots I fished 2 days ago. Like we're checking the equivalent of doing, you know, just 1 days of fishing out all the gear fish in one world and seeing how many drops we get. I think it's going to be a lot more than you would expect to get from an equivalent time investment running around the overworld fighting mechanical enemies. Like you'd have to spend a lot of time to get to the efficiency of the fish here. I feel like you would, right now my feeling is you would have to spend a lot of time planning out your route. Like there's probably a very efficient route for like, you know, time spent moving between teleport points and fighting enemies to get the gear drops from enemies, but you have to like plan out that whole arse route, right? Versus this is just mark the fishing spots and go to the fishing spots, as long as you're not stupid and put a fishing spot in the wrong spot. All right, so there's 3 in the ocean area here. Let's go get this one. Sorry, this is what I get for having a carbonated drink. Let's go get yeah, we'll go get this one, I guess, and then we'll go swim over to this one. Also fish gamba. Yeah, we get to see if we get annoyed by by ornamental fish. Yay. How exciting. Wait, Shivers. The only character I get to do... Shivers. The only character I get to do this with. Why? Why is it not working? Shivers. The only character I get... Why am I failing at this? Huh? Avoid fish that jump? Okay. I mean, well, the problem is, like, I still want to fish the ornament fish because it will make new fish spawn, potentially. There we go. There we go. Blam. I was trying to hold the button. I'm not that dumb. I swear I was trying to hold the button. I was just fumbling somehow. I don't know. Don't worry about it. I have no idea how I'm meant to get that Oculus, by the way. Do I need the Oculus? How close am I? I kind of want the Oculus. What are you meant to do to get that Oculus? I have no idea. The angle was too steep? Oh, yeah, that's probably why. Yeah. You probably can't go straight up, which is kind of lame, but that would make sense. I was definitely going approximately straight up. Oh, I see. Well, yes, I will. Blink. Woo. Well, okay, we'll wait for new fish to spawn. I don't think any more gearfish will spawn. Is this a nighttime one only, actually? Oh yeah, this was a nighttime one only. So there's no other gearfish, or no other gearfish types, whatever, that spawn during the day versus nighttime in this spot. So we're actually done here. Only one fish. It's fine. I mean, I know I got the Oculus from the boosty thing. There was just no boosty thingy there before fishing. So, it's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly fine way to spawn the thing. I have no complaints about that. It was the only obvious action to take there. And I was doing it anyways, so... Alright. Wang. It didn't even... Oh, I was gonna say didn't scare the fish away. Nope, I definitely did. Oh well. Guess we wait. Bonked my knee on my desk. Oops. There's an airship Oculus as well near that spot. Like, you take an airship near there, or you take an airship to there. Okay. Hello, my gearfishies. Actually, this is completely expected of Genshin players. I mean, yeah, but it's also, unironically, I think it might be more time efficient. I think it might be. Like... What we're doing here is I think we're going to be able to get the equivalent of approximately 50 of the higher tier drops in like a couple hour time frame or less. We'll see how long it actually takes we'll see what the timer is on my stream. And this is with, you know, me rambling and getting distracted a little bit, right? Oh, frick you. But getting 50 high tier drops in like less than 2 hours is pretty good. And it's only been an hour 20 minutes, right? You can use the clock to make them spawn faster. Yeah, but I don't think it'll respawn any at nighttime if it can't spawn anymore. I'll double check. I don't know. It's worth checking some of these spots that have more. But if a spot only has like one like the previous one, I'm not going to bother constantly changing the clock to get one more gearfish to spawn or whatever. I don't think we need to min-max the fishing spots. That's not the most efficient thing to spend a bunch of time on my clock menu and changing the time versus just getting the fish that appear, right? Like this boy. And that boy. Look at that, right? Want to relive Dragon Spine? Yeah, Dragon Spine is great. They do a good job with the Dragon Spine equivalent regions that they add. You know, Chenyu Vale, Chasm, and Konomiya. I think they're all standout areas, standout additional areas for the game. As far as exploration content goes, I'd say that the one, it's whenever they add that in the year's patches, it's the ones I probably look forward to the most. Alright, that was a good spot. Let's go over here. I think, I don't know how annoying this wall is. We'll find out. You cut the airship loose under the water, then get on the ship. Ah, I see. Alright, Chivalrous. Can we get the angle here? I thought I wasn't going to get it, but I definitely launched too early. Oh well. Alright, wall not too annoying. Okie dokie. Over here. This is going... Oh. Oh wait, I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna drown, because I had no stamina when I fell, and I was confused for a second, but no, you don't drown in Fontaine water. I forgot. Good. That's nice. That would have been embarrassing. But yeah, this is going faster than I expected. We'll see where we're at. Maybe we won't hit 70 fish total. Sorry, 69 fish total. Technically, we need 68 is my estimate, but we'll see. You can, like, frame perfect drown. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought had almost happened there. Wait, oh, you're saying you can frame perfect drown in Fontaine waters? I kind of want to do that. I would really like to drown. In Fontaine. Why does a robot fish take the bait? Because, I mean, imagine yourself as a robot fish engineer, right? Are you really gonna not design a robot fish to take bait? Like, it's the #1 thing fish need to do. They need to take bait. It's what fish be. Of course it takes bait. Yeah, it's hungry. You can't make a robot fish and the robot fish doesn't do fish things. You're gonna end up fishing all of the mecha fish eventually. Yeah, I know they're not infinite, but if I get enough to be able to finish my farming in only a couple hours, that's very fast. Like, I would not have gotten. I do not think if I especially like with the time taken, like set up a route that would be more equivalent of efficiency, even potentially equivalent of efficiency, for a monster farming route. Can I fish here? Thank you. I don't think it's even like that close. I think fishing is just like a lot more time efficient. It's just a little bit more boring versus running around the overworld, right? This is not going to be, I don't think, my preferred way to fish, but I will definitely consider it if I ever need gears again in the future. But after Emilie's release, it's substantially less likely many things need gears. But it's still possible they release a random Fontaine unit in the future, right? That needs it, so. You are the bait and Saluna got us hooked. Wait, I read that completely wrong. I glanced at it and my brain like assumed you said words that you did not say. I'm sorry. In a way, we are fish and Saluna got a hook. Yeah. Yes, you are fish and I am baiting you with my garbage content. Let's go. I want this red dot to go away. Okay, change the time. Hi. 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 Yeah, I know how to fish. Thank you. I'm doing a fishing stream. You're interrupting my fishing stream, lady. How many lines of dialogue? Thank you. Thank you. Is this a quest? What did it just pull me into a quest? Why? Please. Thank you. You get primo gems from this girl? Oh, that's good. I didn't get primo gems there, but no, I didn't do this quest. I don't do every single quest in the game. I'm sorry, it's not what engages me in the game really anymore. It's like very low on the priority list of things I want to do as side quests in this game. And if I'm gonna do side quests, I'm gonna do the major ones, right? That work towards more general exploration things, right? Not the this lady needs me to go find one object related to fishing. Sorry. Alright. Very nice. The daily quest, you gotta visit her gameplay to finish it. Interesting. I do not have my daily set to Fontaine right now, because they tend to be time-wasty and have annoying ones that like want you to have bow characters. So like they're Fontaine dailies, like when you get like that one where you go on an airship and have to shoot the balloons. Awful. And to be clear, it won't really matter, honestly, in the future. Well, in the future, I mean like next week, hopefully. From what I understand of the resin converting to dailies, which is, thank you so much for resin counting as dailies. Okay, we don't have many more spots, so I don't know. We might not get quite to 70, right? But like even if we were definitely getting closer than I thought we were going to get, right? For the amount of time put in. We're talking an efficiency level, not necessarily that it's important to specifically reach my goal with just the fish in my world, right? But I want to see it with just all the Fontaine spots fished out. How many gears do we get, right? And remind me. Hopefully, I should hopefully remember. But if I don't, hopefully, someone in chat watch for how many gears I have right now, since we're almost done with fishing here. here is, actually I guess I'll just write it down right now since I'm in the inventory screen. This is the number I have gears. This is the number of gears I have right now. Right. 64 large ones, 37 in the middle tier, and 65 at the bottom tier. The end result we're trying to get to is 108 big, 96 middle, and 36 of the small. Right. Hello, friend. Dead. Alright. Oh yeah, so if there's a fishing... Oh, I still have the pole going. I forgot. If there's a fishing weapon in Natlan, which I assume there will be, by the way, I assume it will be a claymore, or if it's not a claymore, I assume it will match whatever the Archon is, but in Sumeru it didn't, so that's not necessarily a given. But we'll see. It's possible the artifact set for Natlan and the fishing weapon for Natlan has the highest chance of indicating to us what exactly, like, some amount of what the Pyro Archon's kit looks like. Like, it won't tell us exactly. It's not like the pipe, the fishing pipe for Fontaine and the artifact set 100% said what Farina's kit is going to be, obviously. It didn't give us the important details, but it gave us the baseline details of, oh, Farina's a skill-based damage dealer off-field, right? Like, that was a given from version 4.0 without knowing anything about Farina's kit. And we might be able to get that same vibe from the from version 5.0 once we actually see what's in store for us. It's either a Claymore or a Catalyst. Yeah, I'd be far more interested in Catalyst, but I don't know. She gives Claymore vibes. She's like a biker gang lady. She feels like she'd have a big sword, right? A big fat sword. She'll probably... I hope she turns into a Phoenix or does, you know, other weird magic things with it, and it's not just slow Claymore animations, because that would hamper ability to on-field her in any way that's not just plunge DPSing her, at least. So, because I'm assuming she's going to be an off-fielder in some form, but I would like her to be usable for on-fielding through shenanigans with C6 Bennett or whatever else, right? I don't think she will be hard to become an on-fielder as a pyro unit, especially, but how her animations work will significantly affect that, her normal tech animations, right? Thoughts on the Geo Jaguar woman? She's Geo, and she looks like a hot lady. She more than any other character they revealed looks like she'd be better if she was black, like visually, like just design-wise. But that's just my personal preference, I guess. Although I think a lot of people are sharing that preference right now with some of the Natlan character designs. Other than that, freaking ornamental fish. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Like what they did with Navia makes me more interested in Geo. But I don't know, that even Navia I'm not that happy with, because like she has more interaction with other elements, but like barely any still. Like you don't actually have to think about the interaction that much, just you want crystallize happening, which I think is kind of boring. So I hope they do something creative with their kit, right? I am very down to actually pull for and build a Geo unit. But it has to be interesting in some form. Navia is not Geo. I mean, you could say that, but she's definitely dealing Geo damage. But yeah, I agree in that, like, she doesn't actually do much with Geo that Geo typically does, such that she doesn't follow the typical format of Geo units. So yeah, I guess she isn't Geo in that sense. But she is still Geo in the dealing Geo damage sense, which can be useful for breaking certain types of shields and whatever. So, anywho's. Is this the last one, by the way? Did I miss any? I don't think I missed any. Alright, yep, this is the last one. So we'll see what our fiche is at. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, if only this was on my main account, I would have used Fischl to fish. Fish fishing. Let's see how many we get from the last one. Will it be productive, or will it be like a 1 gearfish spot? Whoa, that's 2. That's a good sign. I just noticed the number of, I don't know how many lures I started with, but the number of baits that I started with, you could use to subtract how many gearfish I've gotten so far. That actually could have been the counter if I had paid attention to it, but I have no idea how many lures I started with. Probably around, I think I started with around 480, so we are close to the 70 amount, but we'll count up in a second here. I started with 500 2 days ago. I don't know how many I farmed. I don't know how many fish no, I fished for 11. So I should have started with 489, right? Yeah. I should have started with 489 lures. And we have 411 left. So, yeah. We're at like almost exactly 69 fish. Actually, I think we might be at 70 after these 2 fish. We'll double check here, but that means that conveniently I didn't plan this out at all. I swear, I just was like, no, I just want to say I need the math was that oh no, the math was that I need based on the average amount of fish drops. Also, oh wait, no, a lot of them are ornament fish. So I have fished for 70 fish, but a bunch of them have been ornaments. I forgot about that. So I might not have quite enough, but it's going to be very, very close, right? It's going to be very, very close with just the fish in my world, which again, being that like I'm double crowning level 8ing, that's a lot of materials I need for Emilie. Like, this is more than like I would normally say is necessary for most people to farm for, right? I need a lot of materials. I need the equivalent of 1,300 of the base level drops, and I only had 60% of them to start at this stream. And let's count up how many we have. So, wrong thing. We have 21 of you. Alright, so 37, 50, 65. Oh, we have more than that. Wow. Wait. How do we have so many? Did we get duplicates somehow? That feels like that's more lures than I spent, right? Or wait, are one of these ornamental? Frick. Do the ornamental ones show here? Are one of these ornamental? I have no idea. I don't think any of these are ornamental. So we have 21, right? Yeah, let's make sure, double check. 20, 21, 27, 37, 40, 50, 65. Yeah, we have 72. 72 fish from all the I farmed every fishing spot in Fontaine, right? Because they all have gears, just at like different amounts, gear fish, different amounts, different times. Got 70 over 70 fish, which is like basically exactly based on my math of the average of 8 of the base tier drop per, and that's the balancing out like from my sample size of 11 fish 2 days ago. So the actual average might be slightly different because that was a fairly small sample size, right? But we're gonna go and craft all of the fish. I wish you could do them all at once. It would be cool if I could just do all 70 of these fish, convert them all to gears, and see what we get. So I'm gonna write down here. So we're starting with 64 of the highest tier gear, 37 of the middle tier gear, and 65 of the lowest tier one. And we're gonna see what we get. So actually, I guess I can just add up these individually by the 5 categories. It's time. This only took like an hour and a half, and this is with me getting lost for 10 minutes and rambling about things at the start of the stream. Like, this is a lot of materials I got in like an hour, I think. But we'll see. Convert. That is not very lucky, I think, to start. This is not great, I think. 20 fished and only 3 of these drops. My original sample sizes had me getting these drops, which is significantly affected the average, like 30% of the time. So I might have gotten very lucky with my small sample size before. So maybe my optimism was too high. Uh-oh. Anyways, so the first one was 318.52. We'll see. I did lose the fish 50-50 apparently. See that I got the same amount there from less fish, right? 3, 11, 44. If it all averages out, though, it doesn't matter. Three again. I feel like there needs to be a fish pity system. Do. 1. All right. Is this enough? I have no idea. I feel like my initial sample size might have gotten a bit lucky, so maybe my estimate of 8 base tier was skewed a little bit. 3 again. Yeah, I feel like that initial bout got a little bit unlucky, but it doesn't seem that crazy. All right. So what is the total we got here of the base material? This is the simplest way of doing this, because what we needed was the equivalent. So I started with the equivalent of 1,296 of the base material, minus 752 equals. I needed 544. 544 gears is what I needed of the base material. Equivalent, like these are 9 of the these count as 9 of these, right? These are 3 of these, right? So let's add these up quick. So this is 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 times 9. That is, the big gears is equivalent to 117. And then 18 plus 11 plus 7 plus 5 plus 12. Oops, that's not 12. Times 3 is 159. And then the smallest gears is 52 plus 44 plus 33 plus 20 plus 42 is 191. So 191 plus 159, this is not enough. 117 is 467. So we got very, very close. 467, and then how many fish was that? That was 72 fish, right? So 467 divided by 72 is an average of 6.5. So, and this is much more close. I suspect because of a much larger sample size, of course, right? This was much closer, I suspected, the actual average. So my original estimate with doing only like 10 fish was an average of 8 of the base teardrops, but I must have just gotten a bit lucky. That skewed the average high. And this was 6.5 drops average. So my estimate was slightly off, basically, originally. 6.5 average drops. And I still, though, might be able to get enough with like up conversions, because none of my estimates factored in like sucrose or dory refunding / up conversions. So now the exciting part, more gear gambling. We need a total of, for my Emilie materials, I need, the end result I need is 108 of these. The middle tier, I actually need 96, so I actually need to mostly just leave these mostly alone. So anyway, let's see. I only need barely any of these, because like none of your talents need the base materials. So I think I can do like, how many do I need? I need 36. Okay, so that means I need to leave something like that. Should be close enough. All right, no, that's more than I needed. Okay, that was average. No, I can do a couple more. No refunds. Sucrose, how dare you? No, that's too many. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. Sucrose didn't double anything at the end there. Rude. All right. So we have how many we need there? We have 167 here, and we have 77 total. How many do I need? I can break 108 minus 77 is 21, right? No, 31. I need 31. I don't think 31 will leave me enough of the base level material, but let's check here. 31, we would switch to dory here probably. 55 minus 31. Wait, no, that's the incorrect way to do this math. 31 times 3 is 93. 167 minus 93 is 74. So this is barely not enough at a baseline, right? Which is expected, because we would need like 22 more of the base material. But Dory can come in clutch, right? Dory could give us so many refunds. Let's see. Actually, let's do a few lower tier because we're just gonna go farm some enemies, I guess. She didn't quite get us there. Sad. Oh well. Okay. So we're gonna go finish up with enemy farming because we need literally just a few more drops, I think. So yeah, I don't know. That was a lot of gear drops though, right? In about an hour time frame. We got Aja kit. Oh my. That was a lot of drops in a relatively short time frame, right? So, as far as the most efficient, simple ways to farm gears, I think that's one of the better ways. Versus having to, you know, do this guidebook and log in daily, but there might be a more efficient route for enemy farming, but you have to, like, set up, look up that route, like, that takes time. It doesn't really take much time at all to do the fishing spots, and you might have already marked the fishing spots for, like, the pipe farming for your Farina or whatever. I don't know. So, it's actually a really nice option, I think, for the amount it gives. It's pretty well balanced. It's an additional way to farm out your materials. Anywho's. By the way, if there is any like actual kit leaks right now, I would not like put any faith in anything past really superficial descriptions of their kits, because what matters, what will matter is what their actual kit is in beta. So like, don't put any stake in what a character's kit is until we see what they actually are next week. Leakers before beta's release like to give out information that is oftentimes a really dumb take on their evaluation of what a character is doing or meant to do, and like it's not worth caring about what they say. But I didn't know that I needed the buff. Right, like you get barely anything from these. And you have to spend all the time teleporting around, and then there's, if you're just doing the guidebook, there's a relatively limited way. I don't know. Aja power creeps everyone at the same time. No, I know. Of course Aja is going to. I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to evaluate how much Aja is going to power creep every character in Genshin, it's still smart. It's still smart to wait. But of course, Aja is going to power creep everyone. That's a given. He has to. Have you seen him? Like, Hoyoverse is legally required to make Aja ridiculously overpowered. It's just a matter of how much. Right? What do I do the rest of the stream? Do I just have a... I guess I might just end this stream. Maybe I'll do ZZZ after, I guess. I can add... And other stuff at the end. Oh, I can do my main account. I forgot I haven't done things on my main account yet. You can play Wuwa. I don't have anything to do on Wuwa. I'm farming credits in Wuwa, despite buying the battle pass. That's what you would be able to see. You'd see me be able to farm some credits and then log out. What do you think about C6 Ganyu? Congrats on your Tignari. No, it's a joke. C6 Ganyu should be better than Tignari. Particularly if the Pyro Archon ends up being as compelling as I'm thinking she will be for melt teams. But yeah. She exists. If you want her, you know, I guess go for it. It would probably make Ganyu enjoyable to play to me. I would actually consider going for Ganyu C6 if Ganyu C6 was actually her C2 or something. Because that'd be, you know, within the realm of achievability and not sacrificing an insane amount of other things to try to get, and would allow me to experience the character and have fun in ways that I haven't been able to before. But Instead, it's a C6. So gimme. All right. I think it's crazy that the fishing in that amount of time gave me that many materials. That was so many materials for how much time I spent. Right? Like if I started from 0 drops, I would only have to do that 1 hour farming sequence of fishing like twice more, right? And I would have gotten enough for like double crowning. That's a lot. So, I don't know. Unironically, I think it's compelling. It's crazy. All this from just people memeing in my chat a couple days ago. Do fishing. It's fishing actually better. Oh my god. Like, are we even gonna get enough? Like, see, that's how many enemies the guidebook leads you to. So anything past that, you'd have to like take the annoying amount of time to set up your own route, which is awful. Or just do that every single day for weeks, right? Like that's how they balance. This is like you do that for weeks. Well, let's see if that even gets us like enough, right? We only need a tiny bit more. I don't even think it will. Oh my god. Will it? And well, with these materials, it should, I think. Let's do. We should be good. That's the. No, we should be good to do like that. I think. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we'll double some sucrose. Let's go. All right. Yeah, we only need 36 of the base material, and then we need 90. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got a couple of these drops, anyways. Yeah, so we're good. All right. Like we got enough monster drops there, to get more than enough then for Emilie. So 108 here. My plan is to double crown Emilie on her release and level 8 her normal attack talent, obviously fully ascending her. So this is enough drops now to do that. And the vast majority of those drops that we got today were from fishing. And, you know, like it took, I don't know, 10 minutes, whatever, to do what I just did there for the monster farming. But like 10 minutes for how many drops was that? I don't know. You could double check exactly compared to the hour for fishing. I think fishing gets you more drops for time versus doing the guidebook thing. I don't know. No, we're fishing for gears. How many times do I have to say gears and talk about gears? I'm crafting gears. What do you think I'm farming for? Gears. Emilie uses gears. You don't have to know anything about her to reason, oh, it probably is gears that she uses. Yeah. Sorry for making fun of you. Is it that much of a logic jump that, hey, I'm talking about gears and farming for gears? It's probably gears that Emilie needs. So anyways, we're done. We're done. Emily is done farming for. The only thing I have to do now is farm for, and I probably should have actually started now to just get it done with, but I keep forgetting in the habit of condensing resin. I just need to farm for her boss, which I believe is... No, it's not this boss. I think it's... Is it this? I think it might be this. I could be wrong. I'll double check. It doesn't really matter. No, it's not that. I think it's... What is it? Oh, no. I know what it is. It's the Arlecchino boss. Yep, I remember. It's the dude under here. Where? Okay, I don't know. Oh no, it's under the island. Yeah, it's the this one. Yeah, it's him. I'm pretty sure. So this is all I have to do now for Emilie farming, right? Which is good. Keep it simple. Anywho's, I think we're done on poems only for the day. Except I will use the last of my resin, because I don't know. No stream tomorrow, by the way, because I am watching my parents' puppers. I think I said this in the stream from 2 days ago. But I will have an El Hatham video out tomorrow. Should be tomorrow. Unless I change my mind and have it posted on Sunday for some reason. But I think I intend to have it posted tomorrow. And then should still have a stream on Sunday. Maybe with Tars Blamo. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. And no particular plan for the format of that stream. It's just going to be, wow, there's so much to do in Genshin the day before a patch happens. By the way, I'm very annoyed. I think Hoyoverse kind of confirmed this somewhere, or like they didn't 100% confirm it, but the Abyss resets on the 16th, right? So the Abyss resets monthly now. 3 days and 14 hours until Abyssal Moon resets. And that is the same day, right? It's 4 days, 1 hour for this banner. But that's because this current patch ends the same day that, and 4.8 begins the same day that this Abyss resets. And because of the fact that the new patch hasn't started yet, when the Abyss resets, whatever. Because of the fact that the new patch hasn't started when the Abyss resets, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get stuck with the same f***ing enemy cycle, which pisses me off so much, right? Because it means that Theater, instead of Theater having some kind of at least indirect benefit from like making new enemy, like if the Abyss was resetting with a new enemy cycle every single month now with consistency, that means Theater would at least make Abyss more fun, right? Because that's one complaint I've always had with Abyss is like, most of the time Abyss cycles are around. There's rare occasions where Abyss cycles were around for only 4 weeks, but most of the time Abyss cycles were around, like the same enemy cycle, but like the rewards would reset, was around for 6 weeks to 8 weeks, right? So like 6 weeks to 2 months. And now this change, in my opinion, they should have just outright said, yeah, with this change in Abyss resetting every month now, we are going to change the enemy lineup every month to make it interesting to play every single time it resets. Instead, I am pretty certain they're going to do the same f***ing bullshit they've done before, wherein, oh, because the new Abyss is resetting technically before the new patch is done, like literally it's just going to reset 12 hours before the new patch, basically. It's going to reset 12 hours before the end of this patch. And and it's going to have the same enemies. And this current Abyss cycle is not very fun. It's interesting in how difficult it is. Like, I don't mind hard Abyss cycles for incentivizing me to actually, like, optimize things down a little bit on my main account, but it has enough layers of restrictions that it's, for mini teams, it's kind of unfun to play, right? And like, Abyss is more fun when there's new enemy lineups, right? That's my point. And if you're someone who enjoys Abyss, you probably like when new Abysses happen because they tend to be more fun. I don't know if this for 100% sure. We'll find out, to be clear. But in all of their verbiage, it is implied to me that they're not changing that aspect to it. So I don't know. We'll find out. All right, we'll find out on Tuesday. You know, you'll probably find out live on Tuesday. I'll just commit to this. I will probably stream on Tuesday. I will log in. Hopefully, I will try to ignore my Discord, not see anyone say anything about the Abyss reset. We'll log in Tuesday before the patch, obviously, before maintenance starts, and see if it's the same godforsaken enemies, right? If it's the same cycle, because like with the patch starting, they should just have a new enemy cycle anyways, since it's starting the same godforsaken day, just 12 hours before. But also they should just commit to making it be new enemy lineups every single month, regardless. It's not like they don't have the resources to do that, right? But I think what Theater is going to indirectly cause is the awful situation of, instead of like, oh, we would have been able to see consistently the Abyss would reset every single month. Now I think what we're going to see is most of the time Abyss enemy cycles only reset every 2 months. That f***ing sucks. That sucks so much. Like, it's so awful to get stuck with the same godforsaken Abyss cycle for 2 months straight. It makes the game so boring. And that could be mitigated if there was other interesting endgame content, but there's not. It's the only interesting endgame content. Theater is not interesting. It's fun for 20 minutes, maybe. Sometimes, maybe. Like, depending on your account and how miserable it is to have to level up characters to even start the challenge at all, right? Like, Jesus. Like, so anyways, hopefully I'm just being a butthole and they prove me wrong, right? Hopefully Moyo proves me wrong and the enemy cycle is resetting on Tuesday, even though the patch isn't resetting. I hope they break that. I hope they break that pattern, and I hope they commit to it being a new enemy cycle, and this is not just us we're gonna be stuck with the same freaking enemies for another month for no reason. Is there no leaks regarding a new Abyss cycle? Yeah, it's regarding the new Abyss cycle that starts in 4.8, right? But this Abyss resets before 4.8, which means it's going to be another month before we see the enemy cycle, I believe. Right? The same stuff they've done before in the past with Abyss, but now because of the longer reset timings, it means we're almost always gonna we're gonna get stuck. Like the 4.8 enemy Abyss will not start until like a week into Emilie's banner, and then that Abyss cycle will reset in 5.0, basically 2 weeks into 5.0, right? And so we're gonna have like alternating 2 month, 4 week, 2 month, 4 week, right, or 2 month, 1 month. I don't know why I'm saying 4 week, 2 month, 1 month things is basically what's probably gonna happen. Although sometimes we'll probably get sequences of 2 month cycles, which is gonna be to be clear, they could improve theater to make it actually fun to actually but point is like theater has made the end game of Genshin and like how I can play characters actively more unfun if the end result is that Abyss resets even less often, when they could easily actually just commit to making it, oh no, the lineup resets every time the Abyss resets. Isn't that not the simple solution? Make the enemy lineup reset every time the Abyss resets? But I don't think they're going to do that, because they usually have only made the enemies reset when the Abyss is resetting during a new patch, right? Like, I'm assuming they're going to follow that same thing they had before, but I hope I'm wrong. We'll find out on Tuesday. So, anywho's. It just makes me mad how like theater they've added endgame content, and my current feeling right now is they made the endgame combat situation of Genshin worse. That's what makes me mad, right? And it's in conjunction with the fact that basically Spiral Abyss on average is going to reset the enemy cycle, which is what I actually care about, not the rewards. The enemy cycle is going to reset less. Come on. Isn't there 4.8 Abyss leaks? I'm not talking about 4.8 Abyss. I'm talking about the Abyss that is resetting before 4.8, which will last for a month into 4.8, right? I'm pretty sure this Abyss reset is not going to have the enemy lineup that the 4.8 Abyss will have, which will start like a week into Emilie's banner. Oh yeah, yeah. That's true too. Alex was right. If you complete this Abyss cycle, so I might just wait on that. I guess. Well, I don't know. The Battle Pass XP might not matter that much, but yeah, if you complete this Abyss cycle on Tuesday, like before the actual patch update, that means you will not get the Battle Pass XP. That's so stupid. Yeah, maybe it transfers over now. It's possible, but it might not. I wouldn't count on it. Just in case, I would say, if you're concerned about that, wait to do the Abyss, regardless of it being new enemies or not. Wait to do the new Abyss. It transfers. It's done the same week. Someone else says no, it does not. I know a lot of them transfer, but I think it wouldn't surprise me if the Abyss one doesn't transfer. To be clear, it won't be that hard to get to level 50 if you don't get this XP. But, you know, it also would be annoying if you accidentally have the ability to not. It didn't transfer last time. So, yeah, the weekly ones do. I know they made the weekly ones do. That's why, yeah, I wasn't sure. So, yeah, if you want to make sure you get this, just don't do the Abyss on Tuesday. That's so stupid. Oh, God. Oh, Mihoyo. Please, Mihoyo. Please, let this be a new enemy cycle. You can prove me wrong. Prove my pessimism wrong, please. Oh. Anywho's, let's go on to my main account. Give me a second. Blam. There we go. I'm gonna take a drink of water too. Oh man. This game. So many goofy decisions and untapped potential. It makes me sad. It's such a cool game with the mechanics going on, the crazy nuances between the interactions of characters. And then what can you do with the characters that actually, like, what can you do with your invested characters after you gain all this knowledge and think about the fun ways to use them? Well, you can use them in one content that doesn't actually let you purposely use the characters you want to use and invested in. and then you can use them in another form of content that's just a time challenge and is hyper designed around, usually around trying to incentivize very specific things, and there's so many things they could do to make it fun, and they just don't. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to me how much untapped potential there is in this game. And I know there's people at the company that know how good of a baseline structure they have. But then there's other people that clearly don't know. And the people that design theater. Love the game at the same time you hate it, indeed. It's frustrating. There's so much potential in this game for giving you reason to like have fun with the format of having fun with different characters, and their best idea they come up with in 4 years is the fucking theater. I can't believe it. I don't know. Sorry for being a pessimist this string. I want to be an optimist because, like, hey, theater is still new content. If they're considering adding more content in general, it's still good at a baseline, but it has to be fun. I can't. Whatever. I'm gonna go farm resin materials here. So yeah, I want a new Abyss lineup every month, right? That could be the one benefit. That could be the one benefit of theater. If theater made it so that the Abyss enemy lineup reset every single month, that'd be so much better, because it means every single month I can look forward to a new Abyss situation. It tends to be when I have the most fun with the endgame combat of the game is when, oh, there's a new Abyss cycle, and alright, how do I approach this new Abyss cycle on my two different accounts, right? And how can I approach this new Abyss cycle with my unoptimal Sethos team? Yeah, it's worse than doing Kaching Aggravate, but Sethos I find more fun for insert reasons here, right? Sethos team is just an example, right? That process is what makes the Abyss resetting with new enemies engaging, and that's why I don't like look up what the enemy cycles are beforehand, because I don't feel like looking at the enemy setups, and then I enjoy the process of seeing it in game, encountering it in game for the first time, and be like, oh, okay, that's how they spawn, that's the enemies here. All right, I can do this, this, and this, and I can figure out ways to deal with this, right? But that enjoyment is contingent on them having new enemy cycles. And it's always the worst when it takes 2 months for them to do a new enemy cycle. But like before theater, there being a 2-month gap between enemy resets was always relatively rare. Like it wasn't that common to need to wait that long. It was usually 6 weeks more often than not. But now it seems like we're gonna very commonly have 2-month gaps in enemy resets, and that's gonna make me so sad, because that means theater made Abyss worse. My chat broke, by the way. It stopped refreshing, so anywho's, I'm getting a phone call. Here, I'm gonna put my dad on speakerphone. Hello, you are on speakerphone. I'm live right now. What's up?
Oh, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. When so everybody can hear me or what?
Yeah, I have 190 viewers right now.
Oh, hello viewers. Call me when you get time, bud.
Okay, I mean, if it's something minor, like with the dogs or whatever, you can say.
No, right. Just the cat's out. You're gonna have to try to catch her later.
Oh, he's outside? Oh, okay. He'll probably, I mean, by the time I get there tonight, he'll probably be wanting to come inside.
Yep. I wanted to just, how long do you think you'll be before we can talk?
I'll probably within an hour.
Alright, that'd be great.
Okay, they're saying hi, by the way.
Okay, hello back. Have a good time.
Bye. That's what he gets for calling me during the streaming time. Not that he knew, to be clear. It's fine. So, anywho's, why the YouTube chat is broken. I can see it updating in my freaking YouTube. Why does the chat break? Like, it's just like, it just does this. Like, sometimes, like, the YouTube chat works flawlessly for like months at a time, and then they do something, and then now it just like doesn't automatically update properly. Why? Anywho, manual refresh. Hopefully it fixes itself. Yoink. Is this fishing dad? It is. Yes. It was appropriate to talk to him, right? Appropriate to talk to fishing dad during fishing stream. Okay, we're gonna go to Deepwood because I'm still coping that I will get a good circlet in Deepwood for Emilie before I need to start farming her boss drops. Yeah, oh yeah, the chat updates properly on stream. It's just like the window doesn't refresh properly for me. And I bet you it's an issue of like Firefox because YouTube is a dick and they don't properly make things work with Firefox. And like if I streamed. If I opened my chat through a Chrome window, it'd probably be fine. But I have a different YouTube account logged in my Chrome browser versus my Firefox browser. I use both browsers, and I have different things opened in them at different times for organizational purposes. And yeah, so like, but I'm not gonna blame Firefox for that. I'm gonna blame YouTube for that. They're a giant freaking company. It's Google, right? They should need to make sure that like, things like their freaking chat window refreshes properly on Firefox. Yeah, the OBS thing updates properly because it doesn't use Firefox, right? It just uses the URL and directly grabs the data. I don't know, it might use some kind of browser API things, but it's not going through Firefox for my streams, which is why. So that's why I know it's happening in particular, because I can look at my stream preview, see it updating in my stream preview, but then it's not updating in my window, right? My chat window. Let's punch. Oh, I think not Dia. I think Farina's on the wrong build, by the way. Yeah. Oops. The reason Farina's on that build is because of the I'll Hate Them video. So watch my I'll Hate Them video tomorrow. Google actively sabotages Firefox. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's intentional neglect, right? Like intentional and unintentional neglect, to be clear, because like Firefox is a lot less of an install base, but I don't know. They're big enough that they still shouldn't neglect it, right? I don't think it's a good excuse that only 5% or even 2% of 1%. I don't care, right? I don't care if it's a small minuscule. I don't think only 1% of our users actually use Firefox. I don't care. I use Firefox because I have a need to use it as a creator. I need this to work properly. Like, it's not Dendro DPS Farina. It's just Deepwood buffing I'll Hate Them damage Farina because she was the obvious unit to put Deepwood on. That's all. So, yeah, watch the video. And I needed Deepwood not just for I'll Hate Them's damage either. So, I can put her back on her proper build though. Wait, you used this before, right? No, this. There we go. Alright, and for this team, because we have Siegeween, you can do a non-fav weapon. And there we go. I think that's what I had before. Wait, I'm pretty sure I had 50k HP before. Doesn't matter. Ow. Should have done that before I bursted, but whatever. There we go. Blank. Very much had to do that. Why does it have to be Firefox? I mean, I could switch over to Chrome, but like why? Why do I have to? I like Firefox for a lot of reasons, but again, I use both browsers. I like have different things. Like notably, I use Firefox for most of my like content, like business, whatever YouTube channel related needs, and I like to like have like web related things going on related to my YouTube channel in Firefox, and then Chrome is kind of my like everything else browser. I could try to reverse that and make Chrome my content browser, But then I had to like swap over everything. It's just like a pain, right? Like, why do I have to do that versus YouTube just making it f***ing work? That's all. Like, it should just work. It just breaks every so often. Like, every time they do some back-end change to YouTube chat, it seems to just break the way it refreshes on Firefox. And they eventually fix it, because it works fine for months at a time. That's my impression for why it's doing this crap. But anyways, we got garbage hours freaking artifacts there today. I'm gonna strongbox for Gladiator here, because I purposely wanted to get bad Gladiator pieces so that I can do a no-crit Arlecchino build video. Which you think wouldn't take that long, but I'm having very bad luck just getting like an attack percent timepiece that has like no crit stats on it, or a circlet that is attack percent. Like, thanks, but like I need a circlet that's attack percent with no crit substats, right? And I need, or a pyro goblet that has no crit substats on Gladiator, right? Just it's like actually weirdly annoying. You know what? Honestly, screw it. We're gonna do some fragiles. I don't really need these, so because I'll have plenty of time with Emilie being second half. Yeah, Brave just uses Chromium though. I don't like the idea of switching to a browser that just uses Chromium anyways. Can you play ZZZ after you're done in Genshin? Sure. Well, I don't know. I don't even have anything to do in ZZZ right now, but... Internet Explorer for real. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I don't know. ZZZ is... like, it's not very much a good content game for me, right? Like, it's more just like I'm gonna like Genshin is very easy for me to just play and talk about different things, right? ZZZ is just gonna be like, I'll play it and then I'll do the like quests and things. But like I don't know, I can. I just don't really have anything to do in the game that I have that much to commentate on personally. So, you know, do I care about this? You know, on the principle of a deepwood and ER and attack percent EM is maybe relevant. We'll lock it. Yeah, I get my thoughts on the Natlan trailer. Looks cool. I don't know. I'm sure it has lots of lore implications, but as far as like hype level goes, like remember last year was the Fatui trailer, I believe. That was last year, right? Like, that's a high bar to be clear. I don't think anything's going to beat it. But it doesn't even get close to the Fatui trailer. Let's be real. But it was enjoyable. It was cool seeing all the new characters. It was really nice seeing new character designs, right? Because, like, Fontaine character designs were... Yay. Thanks. Appreciate it. What? I don't think I even care, man. I have a double crit, like 40 CV off-piece defense goblet if I ever need it, that also has ER. I don't think there's a reality where this rolls well enough for me to care. So, said Internet Explorer and the stream started loading for you. It's Internet Explorer infecting reality. What? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I have, like, where is it? I think I have, yeah, it's like this, yeah. Like, I have this piece. In what reality does that other piece roll well enough for me to care? It's when the defense scaling units need EM, I guess. It's the reality in which that goblet is more relevant. You didn't like Fontaine designs? No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying we knew what the designs were far ahead of time. Right? That's all I was saying. So, it was cool seeing designs we had never seen an inkling of before. Yeah. I think I have a 40 CV HP timepiece in Gilded already, so when they announced, none of them were very interesting except for Freenos. Yeah, I mean, to be clear, I can't say that the Fontaine character designs are my favorite. I'd say I like what they've shown for character designs in Natlan a little bit more than the Fontaine character designs. It's like, I don't know. None of them really jived with me that much. Wrong screen. If we look at all the Fontaine character designs, like, no. It's kinda, but then yeah. Like, she was like, I liked her, like, concept arts a lot more than her in-game look. She wasn't revealed originally. I like her, but she is Inazuma. I like Cloud Retainer's design. But again, not even a Fontaine character, wasn't in the Fontaine trailer. Navia, it was like, it was cool, but from what I understand, the same person that designed Navia designed Candice and Dia, and like Candice and Dia's character designs are, and the art design, whatever, is my favorite probably in the game. Navia's like not really the same tier, but she's probably the best one, I think. Farina's I like overall, but it's not like, oh my god, amazing. Charlotte I like for being a photographer. Slight bias there. So like, yeah, I don't think their Fontaine character designs are my favorite. Is what I would say. Plenty of kit designs that I like. I think they're good overall, but like visually, not much to get excited about. I like the characters in Natlan a bit more. And lore-wise, I don't know. I can't commentate on crap lore-wise, and the implication that, you know, some fire demon is trapped or whatever. More women with pants. True, we need more women with pants. That's I mean, actually, can you count the Pyro Archon? Is Malvika? Is that how you say her name? I might be wrong. Is she wearing pants? She's more just like wearing a skin-tight leather suit. Does that count as pants? I mean, it is pants, I guess. But yeah. We're gonna use the last two fragiles. Maybe we'll regret it. I don't know. I would really like to just get, please, like, I want to be done with Deepwood and Gilded. I want to be done. Well, let me check my HP timepiece quick in case I need to. Yeah, no, I have this. So like, man, do I keep that HP timepiece that I got? It has ER. That is valuable. Here, you know what? I'll lock this one because it has ER. It could be more relevant, but in exchange, I'm unlocking these two. There you go. I already have about 40 CV, or slightly lower than 40 CV. What do I need non-40s for? Does Dia count as pants? No. I do not think that counts as pants. I like it, not pants. Yeah, it's like a leather jumpsuit. Dia build is 4-piece emblem. C1 Dia. It's a very good emblem build. I mean, ER timepiece, because, you know, if you're using a crit weapon on Dia without C4 at least, you're basically using an ER timepiece. Assuming you want to burst consistently. There's plenty of Dia builds where you don't have to burst consistently. Dia is shorts and big boots. Yeah, I agree. Arlecchino's and Farina's designs are really nice. Yeah, Arlecchino. I was talking in characters that were revealed, like for Fontaine specifically, like the Fontaine reveal trailer, not the Fatui trailer, which I think Arlecchino's design was revealed there, if I recall. So that was technically a separate thing, but yes, Arlecchino's design was fantastic. But probably, in my opinion, as far as the art direction, visual design, whatever it goes, my favorite of the Fontaine cast by far. Yes. She looks great. We have a circlet. Cool, thanks. I'll double check my EM circlets before I lock or unlock that. My favorite character design. I don't know if I have there's too many characters that I like the design of in this game to say I have a specific favorite over all others. Dia and Candice are among the favorites. Arlecchino is also among the favorites. Yai is among my favorites. Who else? Who else? I had to take a perusal through. Favorite enemy design. Oh, that's interesting. Sure. Do I care about this? I don't know. Low roll attack percent. I'll double check. I think maybe I do. I'll double check what my flowers are for Emilie. Canada's Arlecchino or Dia are probably all like tied in various ways or another. Favorite enemy design. Good job, Dia. I mean, there's a lot of Farina there, to be clear, but it looked like Dia. I'll take it. This could be very useful, actually. But, well. Oh, my Emilie build's gonna kind of be coping a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I think my deep wood pieces... Tall Eremite design? Yeah, the Eremites are really nice, visually. And I'm not talking like kits, mechanics of the enemies, I'm just talking visually. I really like the consecrated beasts, actually, in both ways. Yeah, the consecrated beasts look cool. I like them. As far as like these really scary creatures that were feeding off like elemental energy of gods kind of thing. Yeah, I don't have an attack percent piece yet for a flower, so if I get double crit attack percent, this could be good. Let's see. Nope. I mean, frick. It could be a good supportive piece, but I think I have, I have pieces like this, right? I think I have enough other deepwood options with ER on my feathers that I don't need to lock that. But don't undervalue ER, especially on deepwood. It's kind of bull. Honestly, frick this piece. Or did I get something else? I thought I got something else. Ah, yes, this. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. The problem is I literally got this piece last week, so, and this was kind of a perfect piece for Emilie. I don't, so you know, like it could have higher rolls. It could technically be better, technically. Because the other one low rolled pretty hard, but this one also low rolled at starting, so it's not. I'm not not optimistic. I don't think I don't have a cryo goblet currently ungilded, so that this cryo goblet could be kind of cracked, for me. So I'm not gonna level it right now, but that could be a very, very good cryo goblet. Why do I have so many cryo goblets in deep or in gilded? What in the world? I'd never noticed that. Okay, all right then. Yeah, Game really does not want to, like, either an onset Dendro Goblet, which I might have to, and I suspect I will end up having to use my onset attack goblet on my Emilie to make for the best build I can, and use an off-piece circlet. But either a onset goblet, Dendro Goblet, or a onset circlet with crit damage and crit rate substat is kind of what I'm aiming for. Or even a crit rate, crit damage substat one. I have not seen one. I've farmed so much of this domain, and I've not gotten crit rate, crit damage, or crit damage, crit rate. I just, like, why? Oh, circlets. I have the worst luck with circlets over any other pieces. Well. I hate farming for circlets. I hate this. Whatever, it's fine. Because the game doesn't even want to be kind to me when I'm doing this stupid thing for Arlecchino, where all I want is an attack percent circle with no crit. Like, watch me strongbox here and get an attack percent double crit 4-line circlet in strongbox from Gladiator, when all I want is a no crit piece for my stupid video idea. Watch. Guaranteed. It wasn't double crit. It wasn't double crit, but it was very close. It was very close. And this piece I can't use. I can't use this. It just had to not have crit rate. It just had to have like flat attack, defense, anything that wasn't crit rate there, and I could have used it. Okay. I just stop giving me crit. I just want like this game in a nutshell. I want non-crit, and it gives me crit out the butt. I just do I need this? I should keep this. See? I needed attack percent time bees without crit for my video. Your numbers are wrong on my Farina video. I don't care. James, you have to evaluate on a specific context, especially when it comes to Farina. Like, it's really dependent. I was making a generic evaluation. Yeah, no, like, if you start assuming Farina double hydro, you know, invested crit build, like, when she has lower ER needs, yeah. But the diversity, like, I'm so sick of, like, saying, there was probably in the title for a reason. I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying C2 Farina's never worth it. I don't regret C2 Farina. It's probably one of my favorite constellations of the game, only below C2 Bennett, or C2 Bennett, C6 Bennett. Probably. It's a context-dependent game. Evaluate the value of constellations dependent on what you can get otherwise. That's all I'm really trying to encourage. Because most of the people going for C2 Farina are not thinking about any of the layers of nuance of how strong C2 Farina can be for them, what it will actually do for their account. And if you're just going in from a perspective of a damage upgrade for a strong character, you can very likely be served better by getting more characters rather than going for constellations. I'm trying to make sure people are not just getting baited by, oh, the Archon's rerunning, I should get her constellations. Most people should probably not get Farina constellations versus getting Emilie. That will be more valuable to their account. That's ultimately all the video was. It doesn't matter if the math was accurate in one specific context or not. I was making very generic generalizations because people overvalue these things because they tend to be very good in some situations. God, like, you missed the point. The point is, it depends. You probably shouldn't get it. Not saying it won't be worth it to you. I'm not going to encourage people to get constellations for characters. Even though, like, it's not a constellation I regret. I think it's not worth getting. I don't regret it. I find it fun. There's a lot of reasons to potentially get it. But I'm trying to encourage people to have specific things in mind for getting it. Right? Like, if you're unsatisfied, if you want, you know, Farina to be stronger so that you can make Sethos and Farina, Baiju, what was I doing? Sethos official Farina Baiju be a stronger team core, like getting Farina constellations like I did to make it so that your team combos, like using your on-fielder like Sethos that is a weaker character to baseline compared to Chlorand or whatever, like making that team combo stronger and more useful, like have more ability to clear content, is a compelling reason to get them. But the way that a lot of people play this game, like just getting Farina to make your Neuvillette team stronger, or getting Farina C2 to make your Neuvillette team stronger, why? That's all. I'm just trying to encourage people not be baited by constellations they don't actually have any meaningful real reason to use. That's my perspective on it. Because there's too much like, it's so strong, it's a crazy constellation. And that kind of rhetoric in how we talk about things is what results in people making terrible decisions, wasting their resources or money. The math in a given situation barely matters when it's too contextual. Right? Farina's damage increase value is too variable to be that relevant. Like you can disagree for you. That wasn't my point. My point is, like, people probably shouldn't get it. Like, how I've seen the average player play this game, most of them would not actually get that much of value from Furina's Constellations versus just getting more characters. That's really all I'm saying. And I see way too much rhetoric in the community, how they talk about constellations and things that I know for a fact, most of the time when people are getting constellations, they're not actually doing anything meaningful with them. It's perfectly fine to get them if you want to. I enjoy C2 Furina. I found it worthwhile. I'm actually kind of glad I had saved up enough resources to be able to get it without spending any money. Like, C1R0 Furina better or C0R1? Definitely C1R0. Anywho's, what was I talking about before I ranted? I don't know. Something about artifacts. I don't know. But the point is, I'm not going to get in like a math argument with people being like, yes, you can give me a context wherein Furina's C2 is a very big damage improvement. I can come straight back at you with another context, especially like with an actual account as an example, wherein Furina C2 would not be a difference maker, right? In the content that there actually is in the game. For the damage increase value, which is the main like sticking point people are like disagreeing with in my video, like saying, oh, it actually is more of a damage increase than that. It depends, and it depends how relevant that damage increase is, right? Like, sure, there might be contexts where you can clear, or Furina's damage goes up by 50% with C2 in certain teams, but is that the difference maker between a team clearing an Abyss Chamber or not? It can be, depending on the specific context. But it's pretty specific context. Her C2 didn't improve my C6 shout all that much? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways. And that like, having... I remember, like, for reference for anyone, I did not activate C2 Furina. I did not activate... I used C0 Furina for 2 months. I used C0 Furina for 2 months. I have a pretty strong vibe of like the variety in like how strong Furina's Constellation is felt. I have mostly used Furina, other than since Sijuin, I have mostly used Furina in solo Hydro context, right? Which is part of why like I emphasize that stress on like there's many contexts you can use Furina in where it didn't feel like it made much difference. Other than in the context where it made the team a lot, where like you could use worse healers like say Kuki, but still get maximum damage bonus, but your team's still going to be notably more fragile, even if you're doing that, right? And that was part of the argument too. Is like you have to be to really start to get value out of it. You have to be comfortable with fragility, and a lot of the ways I've seen players enjoy this game, they don't like having really fragile teams. So that means people with Furina C2 are still probably just going to end up using the team-wide healers anyways for comfort reasons. I still very often, when I don't want to have to deal with the team being fragile, I very often still use the team-wide healers, Baiju, whatever, for Furina, even though I don't need to. Like, yeah, you riled me up a little bit. I'm just sick of seeing the comment of like, oh, your math is wrong. Like, yeah, when you start restraining the context in different ways, yeah. But I can then do the same thing in turn. That wasn't the point. The math was just used for as a constituent for the entire argument. As a simplified example of one of the ways in which it does not make as much difference as it always as people perceive it as. Like people see the one person mention that Furina C2 does 50% more damage. They see, TGS go like, yes, here if we assume, the team with Furina with these level of artifacts, here you go, Furina having 140% more HP is a 50% damage increase. And what they take away from that is not TGS mentioning that in this specific context with this specific build, etc., etc. It is that, And this is even assuming that TGS says that specific context in the first place, right? That is something that oftentimes they don't say. But like the viewer just takes away 50% better, right? That's all they take away. That's all they take away. So, anywho's, yeah. And I think actually objectively measuring these things, like, to try to approximate what the player experience would be, you more estimate on the lower end when you have a weird constellation like this that has variable value because of the fact that Furina's own value for like damage contribution in a team and the way her damage buff works has variable value. So this inherently has variable value, but it also has weird nuance in the variable value of like how much of a damage increase it actually is for Furina. Also depends on how fast you're actually gaining the fanfare, because remember, this isn't just you immediately always have 140% more HP. You still have to be gaining fanfare. You still have to have the HP fluctuating, and it doesn't count, you know, overcapped healing. You still have to have fluctuating HP to get this maximum 140%. So it depends still. Like, there's so many layers of depends with Furina. So many layers of depends. She's a complicated character. It's really interesting to think about. You can't make simplifications like C2 always amazing big damage number increase. Ugh. Your numbers are from KQM. I don't care. My point is this is not a math argument. It's that the game is highly contextual, and the way that different people play this game is such that like, it won't matter to them. It won't actually matter relative to the value that they could have gotten if they used their wishes differently, or didn't waste money for something that didn't actually matter to how they play the game. There's more than just math optimization in this game. And any of the math optimization requires constraining your contexts, usually very significantly. And the more that time goes on, the more contextual this game is. Because the biggest context is always the teams, the big context of the enemies. Like, evaluating any utility of any character in this game, because Abyss is the only real endgame content in the game, like the meta of Genshin, right? How, like, where the math optimization actually starts to matter, you have to evaluate within the context of any given Abyss cycle, because they're only temporarily available. As soon as this new enemy cycle happens, you know, anything that you evaluated with this current enemy cycle in this Abyss ceases to be relevant. Right? This is the only context that actually matters, but it's a changing, dynamic context. I don't know. Yeah, the most important version of Furina is C0 Furina. Like, you get the vast majority of the value of Furina from her C0. You can get increased value from her, but I am not going to make videos and lean towards the way I talk about characters. Even if I feel like I got value out of Constellations, I am not going to default ever towards being like, yeah, these are worth it, because they like never really are and never should be. Because if they feel like they are, if it really feels like, oh, if it ever gets to a point I feel like you should get Furina C2, that means this game has gotten to a state wherein Furina C0 is not good enough. Like, they didn't make this character good enough at a baseline that you need to get C1 or C2, C1 to make her feel good, right? No, she doesn't buff transformative reactions. I mean, she buffs transformative reactions by nature of applying Hydro. Like the way that Furina has this weird variable Hydro application is one of the most interesting things about her kit that basically nobody talks about. Like the value of having non-consistent Hydro enables weird variation in the timings for other reactions in a way that, like, she makes random bullshit go kind of better is probably the simple way I would describe it. Just have different layers of elements being applied all the time at different timings, and even if you can't consistently trigger things at the same times, just having things happening means like the weird way she applies Hydro is actually kind of good for transformative reactions in a lot of ways. But no, her core utility for most players is not for transformative reactions. So, is Nahida C2 worth it compared to Furina C2? It's more of an obvious utility increase, yes, for supportive utility. Still highly unnecessary, because, like, I've become a Nahida hater. I hate how they have designed Dendro around, like, needing Nahida, and like the characters are balanced around needing Nahida. Alhaitham's best teams use Nahida. The teams I'm interested in playing Alhaitham in don't use Nahida, but he feels noticeably worse without Nahida. Alhaitham's best constellation is Nahida C2. I hate that. I hate all of this. I hate that Alhaitham's ER needs are balanced around Nahida. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm a bit of a Nahida hater. And that's one thing I'm looking forward to with Emilie, even if she's obviously going to be a lot worse as a Dendro player than Nahida. If I can slot Emilie into teams like this team, for example, right? If Emilie will change the dynamic of this team meaningfully, I think. Like, she applies a very different amount of Dendro than Nahida does. But if Emilie's own personal damage contribution, in conjunction with still enabling some amount of Dendro things going on, like the balance works out that I can still get some vapes on Dia, get some vapes on Farina, but now I don't need to use Nahida, I'll be very happy, right? That's one of the things I really look forward to with Emilie, is that I think she will have the ability in some context to replace Nahida for me. So like the problem with this is like she's already the core like use her with mini Dendro context. Outside of the context of if you want to swirl Electro, then she might be a non-ideal choice. Otherwise, it's kind of just use her. And like, why does the strongest Dendro support in the game need to be stronger is kind of my point. But if you always use Nahida with someone, right? If you have that specific context, you have that team context where you're always using Nahida with Alhaitham, you know, you want, like if you want to do hybrid Raiden things, I think a smarter approach to trying to get Raiden to be really fun in different teams, like using carry Raiden playstyle, using her burst, versus like getting her C2 and then getting engulfing lightning and then, you know, doing a normal emblem build on her versus my EM focus build. I think it's a lot more fun to like do Nahida C2, which gets you close to like what C2 Raiden does for defense reduction, but also increases other teammates' damage in the team. And then you can, you know, do things like just get Staff of Scarlet Sands. And like getting Staff of Scarlet Sands on a C0 Raiden, and then having like C2 Farina is way more valuable and can result in you having really satisfying Raiden damage with just a different conceptualization of how you use Raiden slightly. I don't know, right? Like, obviously getting a 5-star weapon and getting a C2 on an Archon is different than just getting C2 for Raiden. But C2 Nahida benefits a lot more characters than just Raiden C2 benefiting only Raiden, right? It depends. I think there's... My point is there's routes to like making Raiden feel really, really strong that don't require Raiden C2, and I think they're more interesting. And this is on a baseline more valuable because, in my opinion, it can benefit a lot more characters than just, you know, Nahida herself or other units. Like, it's Yai's best constellation, quite frankly. But again, all those contexts are, you know, assuming you're doing Nahida and Yai together. It's probably Tignari's best constellation. You know, whatever, right? That's really what it is like it can absolutely be valuable and it's fun seeing Bloom's crit, but at the same time I've become a Nahida hater in general just because like it feels like her existence hampers their design of other characters. So anywho's, Emilie doesn't do anything for Yoimiya, she's just there for her own damage. I mean, that's interesting. Like, the thing is, Yoimiya is really awkward in my opinion when I've played her in mostly in trials, right? But I've been able to play her in trials in like the meta Yoimiya teams with like bait Yoimiya or whatever. I've always felt she was a little bit awkward. So like having a unit, and you normally like you do Yoimiya teams in like the hyper carry Yoimiya path. So units that other than Yoimiya aren't contributing much damage of their own. So, you know, like Yoimiya paired with some mix of Yunjin. Usually you want to shield her. Some mix of Yunjin, Bennett, and then like a Hydra unit to enable vaping, like Xingqiu or whatever, right? And Xingqiu is nice for some interruption resistance, because again, you don't want to get interrupted. So, you know, so Yoimiya, Bennett, Xingqiu, and then probably still want to shield her on top of that, right? And like that means like all the damage is Yoimiya. And that's kind of... Ugh. So the idea of doing like a mono power Yoimiya where you don't have to worry about vape bullshit, and the team's DPS is distributed in a way that's less bad, that Yoimiya gets whacked and just the whole team's damage just stops, right? So doing Yoimiya, just doing mono power Yoimiya would be the easiest way, right? So doing Yoimiya, Kazuha, Emilie, whoever the frick you want for the last slot, you have some flexibility. Bennett, if you want, healer plus Bennett Gober. But also you have some options if you want to play more fragile versions of the team. What do you want, a shielder? You could probably just do Zhongli instead. Like, the team damage would be diversified enough that you'd probably be fine with losing the Yoimiya vapes in that context, right? So, yeah. Yoimiya needs a shielder, but remember, in a team wherein your team DPS is split more between like Yoimiya and Emilie dealing damage, notably, when you have like Yoimiya, Xingqiu, Bennett, Zhongli, right? Assuming you want a shielder, you or Yelan, whatever, right? But like Yelan solo hydro, Xingqiu solo hydro don't contribute near as much damage as an Emilie will contribute, right? It's kind of the illustration here. So, like, yeah, you're going kind of all in on just like Yoimiya's damage being the damage contribution in the team. And if you get interrupted there, it feels terrible because the team DPS stops, right? You are not dealing damage if you're getting smacked with Yoimiya. On top of the fact that if you're doing vape Yoimiya, if her normal attack combo, if that doesn't line up, if you don't like have a consistent sequence of her normal attacks lining up, she doesn't vape on the high multiplier hits. Like, you can start vaping on the low multiplier hits, which also makes the team damage go because again, it's like completely reliant on Yoimiya's damage for most of the team damage, and it's also single target, yeah, right? Like, versus doing Yoimiya, like, you're sacrificing vapes, but doing Yoimiya plus Emilie, you get interrupted with Emilie. There's less need for a shielder with Emilie because you get interrupted with Yoimiya. Emilie is still dealing some amount of damage, right? And you don't have to worry about that vape timing lineup bullshit. And and she's not vaping all of her hits anyways. It's not like Hu Tao, right? So you're losing much less from like not vaping on Yoimiya than you would lose from like not vaping on your Hu Tao. So I think Emilie with Yoimiya is actually relatively compelling for making her feel better to play. It is my current take. By diversifying the team damage away from just hyper carry, and you're going to be dealing damage regardless of being interrupted more. Don't have to worry about vape timing. You can still use a shielder if you want to. Like, Zhongli would have value there over Bennett just for the flexibility of not having of Zhongli should buff because he does the red shred with enemies that are near the shield. Would buff Emilie's damage a little bit. Zhongli could, and then you're freed from circle impact. But of course, less damage and whatever. You could do Yunjin still potentially too, right? So I don't know. I like that idea more than doing vape Yoimiya. If I had Yoimiya, I would definitely consider it. So I'm not saying it will make Yoimiya great again necessarily. Yoimiya herself isn't gonna get stronger for her damage, but I think her teams become nicer to play and will have more situations they feel good in, right? Anyways. Yeah, we were fishing to get gears. I think we're done now, though, and have no more fragiles to even spend. I've just been rambling at this point. We successfully fished for all our gears, so if you wanted to watch that, you'll have to rewind the stream a little bit. Yeah. Well, gears drop from mech. It's less efficient than fishing. That's what we found. That's my current take. Fishing was faster to get more gears versus trying to like plan out routes or go into co-op or farming gears every day for 3 weeks straight. Like the amount of gears that I got from fishing in an hour is probably equivalent to farming the mechanical monsters just from whatever the guidebook guides you to on the map, right? Which isn't very many, but that's the easiest, simplest, efficient way to do the mech farming is just when you log into your dailies, also just start farming the mechs for gears, right? But that takes like 5-10 minutes for like 7 days straight, and it's like like it probably towards 10 minutes, and like I'm not saying it's like vastly more time efficient, but it was a lot simpler and felt more efficient to me. Anywho's. Freena's a great fidget toy. Oh, well, until you run out of stamina. I wish the Switch didn't take stamina, by the way. It actually is really awkward in some situations when you actually want to use it. Because, like, you'll be in combat and you'll be like, I'm gonna die, fricka, put healer mode on Freena quick. Oh, wait, I'm out of stamina because I'm panicking, spamming dash too much because I'm dodging, because I'm low on health and I don't want to die. And then you're like, oh, wait, I can use healer mode on Freena. You can't do it. Alright. And then you die. I kind of hate that I feel like they should have made this not take stamina. But anyways, it's not like she would be broken if this didn't take stamina. Anyways, whatever. Do you need another Dendro in team with Emilie? No. If you want to burst consistently, like she can get value from having a second Dendro unit. Like having Nahida with a bunch of EM will actually make the burn damage be meaningful. Because you don't want to spec Emilie herself into burn damage, but if like Nahida's in the team, the burn damage might start to be meaningful. And whatnot, but you definitely don't have to do Emilie with a second Dendro, and I can bet you most of the teams I will play Emilie in will probably not have a second Dendro, and I will almost assuredly be doing the not bursting every rotation playstyle. Well, I don't know, it depends if Fab ends up being the weapon I use on her, then maybe I will do the burst every rotation playstyle. I'm also going to have to feel out how her burst has variable value, right? I talked about this before at length, but her burst has really variable value, potentially depending on the situation. So it's possible I end up just slapping Fab on her and then, you know, blam, burst every rotation playstyle instead. With Fab, her ER needs are very low, I believe. So C6 Kazuha and main DPS Kazuha. As with anything, if like, man, people's conception that you need C6 of like support units because like, oh, it says they do something on field. You don't need, no. If you want to on-field DPS your Farina, you can do that without C6. If you want to on-field DPS your Kazuha, you can absolutely do that without C6. Yeah, it might require you C6 your Bennett. Like, C6 Bennett and doing Bennett shenanigans is not only more compelling, usually as far as like actually doing meaningful things with your characters on field, because having additional pyro application can be very valuable. But also, like Bennett can, like one way to conceptualize C6 Bennett is like C6 Bennett can functionally make Bennett an off-field pyro applier by nature of giving an infusion to your on-field character. It is kind of part of the why it can be so strong. Like this game really lacks in off-field pyro appliers. But Bennett can apply pyro from off-field if you're applying pyro using his infusion. But yeah, like doing C6 Bennett shenanigans with Kazuha is, I think, more fun than I would ever have with doing Anemo infusions with him. But yeah, I don't know. And it's not like it's hard to see big Anemo damage numbers with Farazan with him regardless of C6 or not, right? Like, this is not going to suddenly make him Omega best DPS in the game. Like, I don't know. There's so many really interesting things to do with Kazuha that revolve around keeping him on field the most in a team. That like do TF Kazuha things or whatever, so you can do more jumpies. Even things as simple as just putting Sack Sword on Kazuha, in my opinion, is a build path that goes towards having Kazuha be more of an on-fielder, because you're spending a lot more. Like if you're doing E, Q, E, doing multiple jumps on Kazuha, that's a lot longer field time. Like he starts to become less of an off-field and more of a unit that has meaningful on-field presence. And then you add in infusion shenanigans to the mix where he can get additional application out on top of like whatever, right? I don't think C6 Kazuha is very good. It exists. If you really love Kazuha, you know, feel free to go for it, I guess. But there's plenty of ways to make him feel usable and fun without his C6. That's all. First time you've been here for a stream. Hope things are going well. Welcome, Rhodes. I plan to end the stream shortly. You missed the fishing. You'll have to rewind. Have I tried Kazuo Virgin? Oh yeah, absolutely. I tried Kazuo Virgin a long time ago. Is one of the main things it's one of the main things I do with Bennett C6 in general is Virgin shenanigans. So if you want a strong version of this, for example, it would be like Kazuo. Do like Kazuo, Farina. It doesn't have to be Farina. Other Hydras work. I did it before she released. Like let's say Kazuo, Farina, Bennett, and Kazuo would be the main Virgin trigger, right? In this context. And who do we do as the last slot? Oh, Dendro. Duh. Derp. All right. So again, this is a context again. Like, hey, if Emilie works here instead of Nahida, I'm super down. Let's just go fight Dorito. This is not changing Kazuo's build at all, and I think the most fun way to do this is to change Kazuo's build. Because like notably, you can do EM focused builds right on Kazuo and on like Marshall Hunters. Like you could do like a hybrid Kazuo where you're losing the VV, but it's fine because like the goal in this team is not to use Kazuo to buff Farina's damage. Also, Farina's on the wrong build for this. She should definitely not have this build. She needs whatever. It should be fine. And she could actually. I mean, I have enough ER actually that she's probably fine, particularly because I am cheating right now with Ziphos. But, anyways, I would normally put Farina on a fab build in this team. She's gonna get more damage than she normally would. Here, let's see if we can even do anything with Kazuo here. But also, I'm sure that's fine. All right. Right. Like, and this is just with the VV, right? But because we're like, it's going to be hard to even consistently swirl Hydro if, oh, I forgot about ZZZ. Okay, I'll do ZZZ for like a few minutes, just to like finish dailies and whatever. I have other. I gotta edit the Hythen video today, and then I'm heading to my parents, so I don't have as much time today. I gotta not spend 3 hours playing ZZZ on stream. But anyways, like to finish here real quick. So, oh yeah, the voice lines. That's true. I forgot. What Kazuo can do, right? You can put him on a Marshall build in a team like this. Paimon coming in. Paimon. And just do like a weird full EM Marshall, and Marshall is giving him a whole bunch of crit rate, right? And that means he can start critting on his animo damage. He can start critting, and actually, I think Binge does like EM attack crit. So you can do different variations, right? But like Marshall gets a whole bunch of crit rate for free. So you could do things like having him have a bunch of EM, so he's still buffing. Like he can self buff his own pyro damage, right? When you're swirling pyro kind of thing. Like how much of a difference does it make to different builds depending on what you do for on-field and Kazuo? It just depends. But yeah, doing Virgin shenanigans with Seasons Bennett is probably my favorite way to on-field him for sure. So yeah, that's my feeling at least. So anyways, I guess sure we'll go to here. You know, this is my way of I don't feel like changing the title of the stream, ZZZ, and this is my way of determining whether or not people even want to see it. Let me gauge the 180 viewers I have right now. How many of you actually want to see ZZZ? It's majority no right now. It's on the edge, but like, I'll do my dailies or whatever, right? Like, that's all I really have to do. Time to go. Yeah. So, I don't have much to do there. And I don't want to spend... I could do more, to be clear, but I don't want to spend 3 hours playing ZZZ today. Same with Woo-Woo. Woo-Woo is going to be more boring, though. Like, Wuthering Waves would be literally, like, 5 minutes. ZZZ might be 5 minutes, too, to be clear. mean, 50% no kind of makes me want to say no. I'm sorry. And again, I don't know. I don't have much to say about ZZZ than I've already said in previous streams. So I don't know. I can log in and do the scratch out ticket for you. I can scratch off and I'll do the scratch off ticket. Right, there you go. ZZZ. Blam. Started Woo and fell off hard. I just can't play more than one gacha. Yeah, that's my current feeling. Like, I can stomach 2. I really am. Like, man, the endgame, like, I'm proper in the endgame loop. What's insane is, like, I felt this endgame loop aspect of Wuthering Waves of just, like, you're logging in to do daily farming, like the endgame loop of all I'm doing is logging in, farming, right, and then like slowly progressing things for character builds, like just with existing characters I have. But like, hey, I'd love to do all these things, but you got off farm for 10 years, and like I felt that at the level 50 equivalent in Genshin, right? like that's how quickly Wuthering Waves gets into the boring endgame loop, and the balance seems effed. How good is Ride and C4 from a support perspective? I mean, I don't think a 30% attack buff is like not valuable. I did buy the daily login thing because I do think I'm going to play this game for at least a month, so I figured it was worthwhile. Probably more than a month because I really like the rat girl. But anyways, let's see what the scratch off gets. If it's 3 puppers, we get Prima Gems equivalent. Oh well, sad. Money. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like that's that's like ZZZ dailies is log in, do that. Open the video store for business. My bad. And then get some coffee. That's dailies in this game, and then do your farming. So, yarp. Like it's very good that it's simple because it's a low commitment game for me, and I appreciate that, particularly for a game that I'm not like. I think ZZZ will reach the point where I'm gonna leave it installed, but after I get like a couple different teams that I like, unless they are doing some kind of thing that really makes me want to pull for a lot more characters, or I find enough mechanical nuance, like I find in Genshin that I see a lot of value of having different characters that enable different things to be possible in the game, I'll probably reach the point of just like, I'll log in when there's a new patch to do like the new story stuff because it's fun and whatever. And I don't know. I don't feel much feeling right now of like, I need to get all the characters and clear the end game content. I enjoy the content, but it's more of a, you know, play it in small amounts game for me right now. And I haven't had much creative motivation to do more content of it other than the video I posted today, right? So, you know. Have you gotten custom farm yet? I'm not sure. I'd have to double check, but I know it exists, which is a really good thing. I should have mentioned that in the video. I forgot to talk about the farming stuff, but anyways, I don't know which. I don't want to level any stun character. What is this? Anomaly. I could pre-farm for the next. I don't know. It's gonna be a while before I can do the next level up. By a while, I think I mean like next week, to be clear. Is my, well, it's probably more than next week. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't have any ice characters I care about leveling right now. Whatever. I like the 100 battery farm. Yeah. Wuwa has Jinju. True. So, anyways, I guess this doesn't really matter. I'll just do that. I don't even know if I'll get stun drops, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm gonna take a break with and I'll do my farming, but I don't know. Do you guys want to see the farming? I can do the farming, I guess. What am I doing? What? Did I not? Oh, I didn't open the video. I didn't click open. Frick. Graphics and art look amazing. Yeah, it's got a really, really, really strong visual identity. There we go. Helps if you hit the open button. Blam. Daily's done. There you go. If I was not dumb, that would have been done immediately. So, yarp. Yay. Monies. Love the bamboos. Yeah, bamboos are great. So, I don't know. I don't know what to farm. The problem, I don't know what I need to farm. I can... you know what, one thing I didn't mention in the video, I think it's worth mentioning quick. The run is goofy. I like it. I like the run. It's again, it's just like part of the like over-exaggerated, like a lot of the animation, yeah, it can be goofy. It's like very over-exaggerated animation style, I'd say overall, but again, it like makes this game feel like it has its own identity. Like they were very much trying to go for that, and I like it. It's very expressive. I like over-exaggerated animation, bouncy animation, whatever. Like the over-exaggerated arm running and whatever. But you see that especially in like the cutscene segments. The liveliness of the animation. So, anyways, jiggly. I wouldn't describe it as jiggly personally, but yeah, I could see the argument of it being jiggly. But yeah, you know what, I'm gonna farm these. But the thing I don't want to mention, but the Notorious Hunt. I don't think I mentioned this in the video. So this is your weekly boss equivalent farming thing. So you can see I can do one more this week. I was saving my one because I think Soldier 11 needs this drop, which I was but slightly annoyed by. Because this is the next story boss, I'm assuming. I just don't have it unlocked yet. But anyways, you notice it doesn't use any of your battery charge. So you have the 3-time limit per week, but it's no material costs to it. You can just do it 3 times per week. Like, thank you. Like, it's fine if you're gonna put limitations where you need these structures to make people log in because it's a gacha game, whatever, blah blah blah. They need to make money. But like having it like where you have limitations on how many times you can farm per week, and it costs your other resources to farm per week. It's so awful, right? Like, it's so smart. Just making it be like, yeah, you can just do it 3 times a week to get the rewards. You don't have to use your other material for it. You can use the other material for other things. And it's good. It simplifies things. Good job. Yeah, let's do a cleanup here. Because why? I don't know. It's not necessarily worth it to farm for these things right now, I don't think. But you know what would be cool? Getting more crit on my Soldier 11. So there you go. That's what we're gonna do. Swing arms like crazy, indeed. I'm assuming Wise does not swing his arms like that, presumably. Oh, hello, big boy. This is probably a bit loud for stream. Oops. Oh, yeah, Max. Attack. I don't know if I ever fought this dude before. I don't think I've encountered it at all, so I have no idea how often it attacks. That was not very tanky. What I love about Genshin is the slow pace of power creep. Yeah. Again, it's because of like the layers of interaction between all the characters function, right? Crit rate, crit damage. Wow. I mean, I'll take it, I guess. It's not on the burning set, which is unfortunate, because that's what I wanted. The fire set. Wow, crit rate, crit damage. Anomaly proficiency. Hey, that's actually one of the stats I was talking about, where like that's like the equivalent of EM as far as I can tell. Where again, this is a 4-star set, so it's not like it'll be for a long-term build. But I'll probably try to use this on my Soldier 11. I gotta double check what anomaly, because there's anomaly proficiency and there's anomaly mastery. I believe one of them makes you accumulate the element build up faster. So, if we do this again, one of them makes you accumulate the element buildup faster. So, which I think is the anomaly mastery. Anomaly proficiency, I believe, just increases the damage. So, when you see the little fire icon next to the enemy's health there, if I use her skill here, you can see it's like 30% of the way filled. So that once that gets full, that's what triggers like the corresponding element effect. So like for electric, that's going to be shock. For fire, it's going to be the burn effect. And I believe anomaly master. No, I think anomaly mastery, if I recall, increases the rate at which it builds up, so you could trigger the effects faster. And then anomaly proficiency, I believe, just increases the damage that it deals when you trigger it.
Target spotted.
And these enemies are too squishy to even see the effects, but you know. So it's kind of like EM, I think, but in like EM split to do different things. It's different, right? It's the closest equivalent, I could say. Wow, thanks. Attack percent. That's something. I think slot 5 is the one that can have crit main stat, by the way. So that would be nice. But anywho's, they say Lucy is like ZZZ Bennett. I mean, she also does some off-field damage. I don't know how relevant the off-field damage is, particularly because I have damage numbers off. But sound is a bit too loud. I prefer this game louder, so I don't know. I can lower it more, but. Like, what part of the sound is too loud? It's just... Okay, I was completely failing there. Oh, oops, I didn't have max things up. Trigger burn? No, he's gonna die before. Yep, he died before trigger and burn. Don't know why I did that order, but it's fine. Can I time my attack properly? Jesus, doesn't matter here. They're too simple to fight. But the sound effects, okay. I want Siege Queen Banner to do good so that Genshin realizes they don't have to make character meta, so they sell well. I mean, they kind of screwed over Siege Queen, but also like releasing her with another 5-star that was much more flashy in the patch. So you know, I'm getting all of the wrong set. Thank you, game. Of course, you get me crit on the other set, but you know, energy regen. Okay, so apparently slot 6 can have energy regen. Good to know. I have no idea how energy needs are in this game. I don't know if energy regen is a substat, notably either. Don't know like tables for how likely this is to drop. Like I know in Star Rail they had energy regen on one specific slot for your equipment, but you had no energy substats. And they made it the rarest frickin' drop in the game, and that made it really miserable to farm. So hopefully that's not the case in this game as far as misery to farm, but it wouldn't be a bad thing, because if only if you can only get the main stat right for energy, that means they're never going to make characters' energy needs be higher than that, than what is possible with just like that main stat, or slightly more than that main stat in Star Rail's case, because there was technically set combos in Star Rail that also gave you extra energy. So I don't know how it is in this game or not right now. That's too loud. That's too quiet, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the energy needs are. I actually prefer energy being a substat. I know it's a frustration playing with Genshin builds sometimes, mostly when they design characters to have like I'll hate them in ways that like make him have overly high energy needs if you want to use them slightly differently. But there's also a lot of creative things you can do with Genshin with like high energy builds. Like I can still like having that modality and energy needs in Genshin allows for what I would probably describe as like more diversity and potential build paths. Like Sethos, if energy needs in, okay, I got like none of the main stats I need, I think. If Sethos needed, or if Genshin was a game where you could only get energy main stat, right? You know, energy recharge substat. Sethos wouldn't have the nuance that he has, wherein I would be able to like do that weird high ER build on him kind of thing, right? It's probably the best example of it. So as annoying as energy needs can be in Genshin sometimes, I think I actually prefer being able to have energy as a substat because it allows more player creative freedom, but you know. Yep. So some enemies have way too delayed attacks in this game. Yeah, I think they could probably make them more aggressive. I do think the game could be harder. Like that farming content was way too easy. Right? But it's fine. It's fine right now overall. I still have had instances of like hard fights. Like, if we go back to the video store, this is something I actually responded to in a comment with because of someone being like, the enemies are just punching bags that don't move. Like, no, they definitely do move. There's plenty of circumstances where like I have had to pay meaningful attention. I do not feel like I'm just clicking a button constantly and spamming a button. If you're playing it that way, you can probably be successful playing it that way in much of the content because they make some aspects of it too easy, notably like the fact that the story has challenge mode and then it still can be approached that way. Like Mahoyo, if you're going to make challenge mode an easy mode, why not make the challenge mode actually be somewhat of a challenge? I don't think any people are really having a challenge on the challenge mode. So, like it feels like it has easy mode. Slightly less easy mode. I haven't actually tried the easy mode, so I don't know how brainless easy mode is. Like, I can't imagine. It feels like it has easy mode, completely turn off brain mode is what I assume it is, and then it has like also very easy mode for the story. Despite the fact that they have this option when you're doing story, you're like, hey, do you want challenge mode or easy mode? Like, it's not challenge, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Like the de-emphasis on like supportive units in this game, I think is, or not supportive units, on like defensive units. I like that there's no healers in the game. It's fun. It again like forces like, it feels to me like it forces more skill awareness of what the enemies are doing versus what for like relative to like player inputs and like forces paying attention. Like this situation here, if like it has, I think this enemy and then this enemy is just like a tanky, and I think you're meant to bring ice here, or ether it looks like, and I think you can stun them a lot quicker, whatever. Right? They're ice weak enemies. And it's a typical gacha thing, making enemies incentivized to different elements. But you don't have to. Like I can still deal meaningful damage to them, so I might have had a easier time, of course, with different elements. But with my teams, wasn't dealing damage with these types. I wasn't able to clear in the 2 minutes and 30-second threshold. Where is the condition details? Yeah, clear in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I was clearing in like 3 minutes and a half. And it's a higher level thing, right? It's recommended level 38, but I'm also around that level right now. I'm level 40. So like this was actually a challenge, and it was labeled as a challenge. And I wasn't able to fully clear it, and like I was almost dead against these two enemies. Like it was two enemies at the same time. This one teleporting around, it does like a teleport attack, and then it does another teleport attack, but that last teleport attack you can do a parry on. But those first two you'd have to dodge, right? And then meanwhile this dude is also doing his own things, right? And that like is interesting, right? Like I was not going to live if I was not paying attention to things there. And then like these are more like just grunts. They're just like fodder enemies. Like, and these are the ones that I think they definitely attack too slow, right? They half the time just stand there and do not much. I think in this mission, these ones have some armor, and did a little bit more interesting attacks, but these ones are just your typical fodder enemies. But I don't know, like the game is, it's not an inherent flaw for the game to be for most of the game's content to be catered to a more casual experience, right? And as long as it still has things and it still feels engaging to me, I don't think it's a problem personally. Like if I never, if even things that were challenges, like I never ran into things where I felt like I was ever getting close to dying, or I never had to pay attention to what the enemy's attacks were doing to survive, like I would have a problem with it. But just because the game is made to be a little bit easier, it does not mean it's bad. And even if I would prefer it being harder, I do think it's dumb that they call the challenge mode challenge, because the challenge mode for story is not a challenge, but it's like a minor gripe, I'd say. Rally missions are fun. Yeah, I agree. I like the rally missions. So I don't know. Like when I'm fighting the harder enemies, I feel like I have to pay attention. Is all I can say. Not like, oh my god, it's so hard. It's Elden Ring. Like, no. Yeah, I don't think I've died against anything in this game yet. But I've gotten close a lot of times, right? And with the nuance of having to like do Soldier 11's timing thing for her like fire damage is engaging to me. So I don't know. I like it. That's all I can say. And I don't think, I think it's a vast oversimplification to say it's punching bag. And I think the people saying that have either not played the game at all, or are just like, you know, echoing other people that potentially haven't played the game at all, because they just decided for whatever reason they don't like the game, they want to hate it, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's just punching bags. Like, I'm sorry, this game in many ways, and at least first impressions, is less just enemies are punching bags than Genshin is. Because of the lack of defensive units, you have to pay more attention to things. So anywho's, I like my easy mode to play for story. Yeah, that's fine. But like, my point is, like 99 Flower, they have the option in this game for the easy mode. They literally have the easy mode for players like you. So, I don't know why I did this. Also, oh yeah, one of the cool things I mentioned it very briefly. Not there. Oh wait, I'm having a stroke. It's DMs. I hit Q. You have a daily thing. You can send like 3 messages to people. I mentioned this like with the trust events, I think. I like this as a daily login system. Like this as a friendship system, and getting like some rewards, including rewards that like trigger special events for agents in Hollow Zero. Like they have like some minor gameplay significance. Of course, you get wish currency, and then you get the wallpapers, right? And which you can switch to, which is cool. Like I like this as a friendship. This is a friendship system, right? That's more like what having a stroke. Like what I said in the video, I think like Mass Effect or whatever, versus like use the character for 4 months, get wallpaper, and then it's or get profile thing like in Genshin. I don't know. And versus this cool thing. I don't know. I like this more. I haven't seen what the other ones look like for the other characters, but yeah, I don't know. Is it popular to hate Hoyo games? Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is so much of a higher quality game that's trying to be a game versus Wuthering Waves, which is very clearly just trying to be Genshin, but a little bit different. Like, I'm sorry. Wuthering Waves really fails to differentiate itself. And it also fails, in my opinion, to like have a proper balance to justify it being a gacha right now, in my opinion. I don't care that they're giving more things for free. Like that's just giving more gambling. That's just leaning more into the gambling BS rather than like the game. I don't know, man. So not that there's not good things about Wuthering Waves. I like it, but like my feeling with Wuthering Waves overall is like I want to like it more than I do. But the gacha BS has worn me down too much with Wuthering Waves. The balance is not there. So, anywho's. I'm not saying Hoyoverse doesn't deserve some of their hate, but they're also putting more effort, I think, into their games than other gacha companies do. So, I can't wait. There's going to be a Western company that's going to copy the gacha formula in some form. They're going to market the absolute hell out of it, and it's going to flop. It's going to hardcore flop because it's going to be like a Wuthering Waves style shenanigans, but like with more money dumped into it from a Western developer. It's going to be like Wuthering Waves, but they won't even get like consistent updates, right? and like the company will completely lose any amount of player trust for like putting money into the game, and like the game will like the game will sunset after like 2 years or something, you know, and like anywho's, I don't know. I like this game. I'm sorry for not just being a hater. for all the people that didn't want to watch someone with a positive take on the video. Oh, what did I just trigger? Public Security Model Street. Hello. So are you not pulling for Ellen? No. I want Zhu Yuan, I think, because I think she will. I think Zhu Yuan, from her like dodge, get enhanced shot playstyle that I saw and tested in the story, in conjunction with like, I think I like the idea of doing a double attack unit team with Lucy, Soldier 11, and Zhu Yuan, and then Jane is coming out next patch. I've seen, I understand enough of what she does that I like the idea of doing Jane and the Grace together, right? Grace, who I of course have. So that's my currently 2 teams I'm thinking of aiming for. I don't know if I'll actually win the 50-50 for Zhu Yuan, but at this point, we'll see. Can we see the build? What build? What build are you talking about? I don't really have builds in this game if you're talking about this game. Sorry, I was reading chat and I wasn't reading them. I intend to read them. The side quest experience is definitely not like as good in this game as Star Rail. Like Star Rail, goddamn, like the side quests in Star Rail are in many ways like the reason I like Star Rail as much as I did for a while. They're not as strong in this game, is what I would say right now. But I actually like the main quest stuff overall quite a lot. Like the voiced quests in this game more than Star Rail, I'd say, right now. Not that like Star Rail is bad. Like Bellobog was fantastic, but the Laofu and Panakani. So, anywho's. Yeah. Like, that's all. I can't say I'm going to make that much content on ZZZ, but it's a game I'm enjoying right now, and I'll continue playing it. That's kind of it. And as far as like the gacha grind goes, it has relatively... Oh my god, what do I keep... Find Cookie taking a nap. Okay. It has relatively low time commitment if you do want to... Hey, there's Sokaku over there. I did not initiate any quests for her, so this is just she randomly shows up. Like the characters just show up sometimes around the street, which I really like. It's a nice touch. So I just realized that I can't bear them. They're grizzling you as a pun. How did I take... I'm sorry. Always thirsty. That was a good joke. I appreciate it. We need Sample back for Peak Story. Bellaba wouldn't have happened without Sample. True. Sample was an interesting character. I liked the event quest that involved him with the museum and whatever, if I recall. But anywho's, yeah. It's not a perfect game. It's not the best game I've ever played, I don't think. But I have enjoyed this far more than I have expected, and it has made itself a very good game underneath the gacha. And the gacha structures of logging and daily don't feel like that much of a commitment right now to me. Like the time I put in this game, that I'm committing to this game, is mostly time I have wanted to put in this game, like enjoying doing the different things in it, right? Rather than time I feel like I'm logging in because I had to log in, right? The time that it takes to do the things that I feel like I have to log in for takes very little time at all. It takes the 5 minutes that I basically showed you, which is fine. Like it's completely acceptable, I think. As far as a structure to incentivize logging in, because they need to make money and they need to incentivize you to log in daily in some form, right? The main time, the most of the time I'm spending in this game is time I wanted to spend. There is dumb things like the fact that, you know, need to get to Internaut level 34 to be able to continue the quest here. I'm pretty sure with the with the side quests, all these things I have available right now, I can get to level 34 and continue the quest, but the point is, it has that gacha structure of like needing to like log in daily to some extent to be able to continue the story, which is dumb because it punishes like what I did, wherein like I played like for 8 hours on one day. So like it punishes the players that are almost enjoying playing it the most, kind of thing. I don't know if this is like China regulation thing, like a system to try to make it so people can't play the game as much every day, because China like has regulations to, I don't know why this exists. It's really dumb, I think, to me. It's kind of a universal gacha thing at this point, so I'm used to it, but it is dumb. And before it was where this is the first time it took me like 20-ish hours of gameplay up until this quest point to reach the point of like, it seems like I have to log in daily to get some XP in order to reach the next threshold to get to the next story quest. So, anywho's. You're 40 hours in, level 33? Oh god, if you're level 33 at 40 hours in, maybe I have more hours than I thought. I don't know. I haven't tracked my hours. I thought it was like 20 to the 30, but... Anywho's. Yeah. I mean, one really dumb thing that I was discussing with Tars yesterday was ZZZ versus this is something with Wuthering Waves that we were frustrated about. You know how ZZZ has let me go into the trial here. But ZZZ has like a similar effect with like a bullet time effect when you dodge as Wuthering Waves has, right? And the difference is, one, in Zenless, like...
Waiting further instruction. Soldier 11, reporting.
Oh, I didn't add a second character. It's fine. I'm just showing the dodge. In Zenless, the timer... So I'd have to go to the... This doesn't have a timer, right? Let's make it invulnerable. So, good job, me. We're gonna dodge here. Right, so you have some bullet time effect there. But one, I'm pretty sure, like, it just feels a lot better because, like, the timing is made to be better. And also, like, this game is made more to, like, take an input specifically during that, like, bullet time window. Whereas, like, in Wuthering Waves, it's just like a... Ooh, Matrix bullet timey, where like you're just stuck in an animation for longer because of it, right? But what? Enemy invulnerable enable. Okay. Maybe if you just deal too much, maybe that's bugged right now. If you deal enough damage to like completely get through its health, it just kills it anyway. That's funny. But, anywho's, in Genshin Endgame is TCG, right? That bullet time effect, though, in Wuthering Waves, right, you're slowed down, you can do less inputs, right? There's less of an actual gameplay design around the bullet time thing, right? On top of that, in Wuthering Waves, the timer still ticks down at normal rate. In Zenless, during the bullet time, the timer slows down according to the... according to the like amount of slowdown that happened, right? Duh. Because if you're gonna have a bullet time slowdown effect, you slow down the timer in your endgame combat. Wuthering Waves doesn't do that. It doesn't slow down the timer. There's also less inputs you can actually do. Like you're just losing damage that you can deal. Like it's actually just like really bad. That feels so garbage. God. Explain the Constellation system where people are gonna like the game. Like for Wuthering or for Zenless, it's the same as Genshin. it's Zen and whatever you have. It's the same thing. So, I don't know. Anywho's, I think that's all I got. That's basically all I have to say about ZZZ. I had more to say, I guess, than I thought I did. But, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go call my dad back, I guess. Let me know your thoughts about ZZZ and fishing for Emilie. I'm surprised that we got as many fish as we did. I'm glad I'm done grinding for her other than the weekly drops. Nice. Nice to be prepared. Bye-bye.